Hi, everyone. Josh Rucker here in studio this morning with a live weather update. Severe thunderstorms pushing through portions of northwest Arkansas and the River Valley right now. I know meteorologist Payne Langford will probably be here in a few moments. We're not expecting any tornado potential this morning. I'm just going to say that right off the bat. There will not be tornado potential in northwest Arkansas and the River Valley this morning. But later on this afternoon to the evening hours, that could change. We'll have to watch those trends very closely. Of course, we're live on air right now here on KNWA. We're going to be live until 7 o'clock on KNWA. We're also going to be live on Fox 24 News at 7. Normally, I don't start these live streams during coverage, but we're going to go ahead and do that right now because we got the storms pushing through. I want to give you guys an update. I'm going to kind of go back and forth between the graphics and talking with you guys, and then also going to the wall and doing some severe weather coverage. You have to be aware, though, we're doing a live broadcast right now, so we might have to stop talking for a few moments and just kind of show graphics and take you through cameras and stuff like that because we're doing a live broadcast at this time. I wanted to go ahead and show it Heil Heating Cooling Mega Doppler to kick things off right now. We've got severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for portions of our weather coverage area right now. Here's that first severe thunderstorm warning that's in portions of Washington County right now, just off to the south of Fayetteville. We've been watching two distinct storms very closely, just off to the north and east of Winslow and another one north of Cedarville. And can somebody go in there and tell them to turn that off real quick? Yeah, because we're doing a live stream right now. Yeah, thank you. So we're watching these storms very closely. They're moving off to the north and east, about 55 miles per hour right now. You can see that the hail's kind of dropped off just a little bit, especially on this one storm that was southwest of Winslow. There was a report of 2-inch hail, at least estimated by radar, of 2-inch hail to the west of Cedarville. But that storm is starting to fall apart just a little bit as it progresses off to the north and east right now. So we'll watch that very, very closely. We got some more storms moving through portions of St. Paul, one that's south of Jasper as well, one that's around Clarksville, Fort Smith, and Greenwood. So we're going to be watching all these storms very closely. Now, here's the deal. I know a lot of people maybe are worried and stuff like that. Don't be worried. These storms, again, at the most are going to produce large hail, maybe up to, quarter, maybe larger than that, maybe up to 2 inches in diameter, and some strong winds. But the tornado potential is non-existent. I'm going to stress that again. The tornado potential is non-existent with this morning round of storms. We are not expecting any tornado warnings this morning, so you don't have to worry about any tornado warnings. Just have to worry about very heavy rainfall. You've got to worry about frequent lightning, some strong storm potential. This is going to cause problems on the roadways for sure, but we're not expecting any tornado threat. I am keeping a close eye on iDrive Arkansas for any accidents. I haven't seen any yet, but obviously very heavy rainfall. A lot of folks are going to be out and about on the roadways, so it is imperative that you take it nice and easy as you get to where you're going this morning. So we're going to kind of go back and forth here. Let's go to my graphics here. I just want to show you all the lightning strikes that are going on right now. Very frequent lightning up and down the I-49 and Interstate 40 corridors. We can go through all these cameras right now, and you'll just see lightning strike after lightning strike after lightning. Look at that big-time lightning strike going on there over that Waldron High School WeatherBug Network camera. And just to see if we got any lightning over Fayetteville. Haven't seen any yet over the Mount Sequoia camera, but that might be changing very, very soon, at least just to the south of Fayetteville. I do think this severe thunderstorm is going to say just south of Fayetteville, but we'll watch that very, very closely. Here's a look at the Miss Laura's WeatherBug Network camera. Look at that lightning going on there. Let's go to the Fort Smith Public Library camera as well. We're going to be watching this very closely. So here's the deal, folks. I know a lot of folks maybe have questions about what's going on tonight, what's going to happen tonight. We're going to get to that, I promise you. But really, this live stream is mainly to get you ready for what's going on right now. Because remember, we're in a live newscast. I'm going to be going back and forth between this and the wall. This is going to be different than a typical weather live stream. Typically on these live streams, I'm staying right here. We're talking, we're answering questions. But remember, we're in a live newscast. So I'm not going to be talking at some points because we've got to go back to the anchors and let them do the newscast as well. So this is what we're doing this morning. We have to do that right now. I'm doing this because we need to make sure people are weather aware as we step out the door. So we're going to get to that stuff. Just make sure you stay tuned and stay weather aware as we move throughout the morning hours. Let's go back to Weather One here real quick. We're going to be having a segment coming up very soon. So I'm going to be going to the wall, switch this to the wall. That's going to be happening in about 2 minutes. Want to go through each individual storm real quick for the folks on the live stream. There's that severe thunderstorm warning that remains in effect for Washington and Crawford County until 6:45 a.m. 60-mile-per-hour winds, quarter-sized hail. Another severe thunderstorm warning that's clipping Sequoia County right now. That's for 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-size hail. That's racing off to the north and east, and that goes until 7:15 a.m. Very heavy rainfall along and south of Interstate 40 right now. You can see all that rain that's ongoing there near Fort Smith, Greenwood, and Ozark. And yeah, we're going to do storm tracks, I promise. Remember, guys, though, I'm going back and forth here between the graphics and coverage, so I don't have as much time to do stuff right now because we're about to have a segment in about a minute. But we'll do storm tracks, I promise. We're going to do as many things as we can do. But look at all that energy that's lifting in right now along the I-40 corridor. A ton of energy moving into northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. We got a severe thunderstorm watch in effect for the entire coverage area until 10 o'clock a.m. Until 11 o'clock a.m. So we'll have to watch that very, very closely. That's a pretty extended period of time of severe weather potential. If we go here to the outlook for the rest of the day today, you can see that we've got those showers and storms this morning, and then more shower and storm chances as we move throughout the afternoon and evening hours. But guys, we got to go real quick. We've got to get back to the wall. We've got to do some coverage on air. So just stand by for that. We're going to be on, I'm guessing, in like 15 seconds. I haven't heard anything yet. So. Well, there's the top story this morning across northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. We're taking a look at that Fort Smith Public Library WeatherBug Network camera. We're seeing frequent lightning this morning, especially along and south of Interstate 40 and the River Valley. You can see, obviously, some very heavy rainfall that continues to be ongoing there. Mount Sequoia WeatherBug Network camera also experiencing some lightning. So we're starting to see that shower and storm activity push into portions of NWA. Here's a look at high heat and cooling mega Doppler. A big-time mess right now, which is what we expected this morning. Multiple rounds of showers and storms pushing through the area. Let's go through all these severe thunderstorm warnings. There's one that's in effect for Crawford and Washington County. That goes until 6:45 a.m. for 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-sized hail. Another severe thunderstorm warning that's clipping western portions of Sequoia County. That's also for 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-sized hail. That goes until 7:15 a.m. Very heavy rainfall along I-40. If you live along Highway 271, Highway 71, near Fort Smith, Alma, Greenwood, Ozark, Clarksville, these areas experiencing very heavy rainfall right now. So you got to make sure you're taking it nice and easy as you get to where you're going. But a ton of lightning. We've got another complex of showers and storms that's racing towards northwest Arkansas from southwestern Oklahoma. These storms really starting to intensify. But the good news is that we are just off to the north of a warm front. So we are not expecting any tornado potential this morning, but very heavy rainfall, frequent lightning definitely could impact your morning commute. We do have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect for the entire KNW coverage area all the way until 11 o'clock this morning. That's not going to be the last of shower and storm chances. More severe weather potential coming up this afternoon, especially along and south of Interstate 40. It all depends on the position of the warm front. We do have a level 4 to 5 moderate risk of severe weather in place for portions of the River Valley right now. We'll time out that second round of showers and storms coming up in your full forecast in about 10 minutes. But first, your News at 5 starts right now.
Proudly covering the Northwest Arkansas community. This is KNWA Today.
In a KNWA Today exclusive, we sit.
So remember, we have a newscast going on right now.
This comes after the longest
So I can't talk very loud. So we're going to do the best we can. We're going to look at natural causes.
Arkansas Governor turned USA law professor Robinson shares his experience with our popular figure.
Here's a look at that severe thunderstorm warning. Again, it's in effect until 6:45 a.m. And we're watching the hail very closely. It looks like another hail core is starting to develop there southwest of Winslow. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw that severe thunderstorm warning get extended into portions of Madison County as well. So keep a close eye on that as it moves off to the north and east. Looks like this package is about 3 minutes, so we'll talk a little bit here about what's going on there with that severe thunderstorm warning. Look at this storm though. That's east of Eufaula. That is some big time hail that's going on there in central Oklahoma. Very heavy rainfall right now. Obviously, this is going to impact your morning commute. You got to make sure you're taking it nice and easy on the roadways. Let's go ahead and go back here to live Doppler radar. These storms moving off to the north and east at about 55 miles per hour. So I'm going to go back here. We're going to do a storm track on this first thunderstorm that's impacting northwest Arkansas right now. I'll take off this warning here. We took off the warning. We're going to put that storm track in place there. Let's start it just off to the south and east of Winslow. That's where that hail core is right now. We're going to move that off to the north and east. And as you can see, Winslow, this next storm is going to be moving through at 6:46. So you could see that hail core within the next 10 minutes or so. Sunset at 6:54, 7 o'clock in Durham, 7:10 in Japton, 7:18 in Huntsville, 7:28 in Kingston, and 7:46 a.m. in Jasper. So that's the storm track for that first storm right there. And we go off a little bit farther to the south and east. I think this storm will probably miss most of our coverage area, at least for now, but we'll have to watch it very closely. This one right here that's just off to the west of Eufaula, that's dumping some big-time hail right now. Here it is right there. There's the storm right there in Eufaula along Highway 65. That's moving off to the north and east very quickly. That's also moving at 55 miles per hour. So here's a look at that storm. That's moving off to the north and east there. And yeah, it could be arriving in portions of Adair County pretty soon. So 7:28 in Tahlequah. I know we got a few folks that are watching out there. Stillwell at 7:36 a.m. as well. So we'll watch that storm very closely as it moves off to the north and east. That one is producing some pretty big time hail at this time. So let's go back to that one storm because it looks like some folks were not able to see that first track. So I'm going to make that track again. This is again just off to the south and east of Winslow. We'll move it off to the north and east. So again, Winslow within the next 10 minutes, Elkins at 7:03, Japton at 7:12, Huntsville at 7:20, Kingston at 7:31, Berryville at 7:42, and Green Forest at 7:46 a.m. So that's a look at the storms that are currently in our coverage area right now. Again, if you're just joining in, none of these storms are going to produce any tornado potential this morning. No tornado potential expected this morning. Large hail, damaging winds, heavy rainfall, lightning, that's all going to be the case. But no tornado potential. All right, we're about to come back live. So we're going to have to quiet down just a little bit here again. But I'm going to go to a camera so that way you guys can kind of see what's going on across northwest Arkansas.
Reporting. Now, there are 24 prisoners on death row. 10 of those have exhausted their appeals process, meaning their names have been turned over to the governor. 7 of them are from our viewing area, including the now longest standing John Davis, who's on death row for 15 decades. We'll put that for into a former governor. And you can read more about Bruce Earl Ward's death and his timeline of appeals, as well as more on the 24 inmates that remain on death row over on our website, www.arkansas.com. After the Warren, Arkansas, Governor Sanders has announced that the National Guard will be mobilized for the state head, not the president, and for the president to be now, 4 firewater teams will be dispatched across the areas that will be impacted with heavy flooding. The team will be staged in northeast Arkansas to provide support to local authorities. Each of those teams will feature 3 vehicles that can have transport people, goods, or even the. Well, yesterday we saw the stock market get a hit. It really was hit hard. Still ahead on KWA today, we will hear from our Washington, D.C. correspondent on how President Trump's proposed tariffs have affected the stock market. First, let's go ahead and take a look at traffic on Interstate 40 in the River Valley State of National News at 9.
All right. So we're now on a commercial break so we could talk. We got meteorologist Peyton Langford in now. Right there.
There's a lot going on.
on.
So I figured I'd help you maybe do some tracks or something.
Yeah. So
can't catch everything.
Yeah, we can't catch everything right now. That's for sure. But you know, Peyton, here's the deal. I mean, we're watching these storms very close this morning. I know a lot of folks are concerned about what's going on right now, but I'm stressing this all morning long. None of these storms are going to produce tornadoes this morning.
Oh, no.
Not one of them will rotate or produce any tornado potential before noon.
Yeah, but some pretty sizable hail.
But some big time hail is possible. We've seen that. There's one storm that's thankfully looks like it's tracking west of our coverage area right now. That's producing over 2-inch hail likely near Eufaula. Mm-hmm. But we've seen some of these storms, occasionally produce over quarter-sized hail. Gusty winds, damaging winds, a possibility. Very heavy rainfall, which will impact your morning commute, and frequent lightning. That's really our risk this morning with these storms.
Pretty aggressive this morning, huh? As far as the convection.
Pretty aggressive, which the models said was going to happen.
I know.
So far, the models have been correct, which if the models are correct, then that means that's good news for this afternoon for
Yeah.
Northwest Arkansas. But
Mhm.
I have noticed a bit of an uptrend from the HRRR in terms of the placement of the warm front this afternoon. That's because it's not breaking out as much convection over Northwest Arkansas between noon and 3 p.m.
Yeah.
But we'll see. There's a lot of energy. And as you can see, we've got a lot of showers and storms to get through this morning. But this is what we were talking about with the flash flooding potential. I mean, look at this, just round after round after round of showers and storms. This is going to be the name of the game all day. Regardless if you're in Northwest Arkansas in the River Valley or not, you are going to see very heavy rainfall. You might go into EMPS real quick so I can see when my traffic is. Okay, it's like literally right after. Yeah.
It's like a minute.
So,
30.
hey, just bear with us this morning, folks, because we are in a live show right now. We can't talk at times because we're doing a show. We've got Ashlyn and Jackie. They're reading stuff, and so we can't talk because we can't interrupt that show. But when I'm on there, when I'm on the wall, we'll go to the wall. When we're in commercial breaks, when we're in packages, we'll talk and break down everything with you. But just be aware of that and bear with us this morning because this is not like a typical live stream where we can just talk about Baja Blast and go nonstop here. Let's go ahead. Peyton, I'm going to let you take over here because I need to make some storm tracks for my show. So Peyton's going to take over for a little bit.
All right, make some storm tracks.
Mhm.
So we'll just hang out on Mega Doppler then. Do you have Max 2 open?
I do not, but you can open it.
We'll open Max 2. We'll make some.
The stock markets with 8 million yesterday. Yeah, this after President Trump announced sweeping new tariffs on U.S. imports. Washington correspondent Sean Hudson has more.
We are in a package right now, but it will be a quick package. It's only like a minute 20.
What a show.
But we're about to see a bunch of accidents on I-49, unfortunately, because this rain is really getting heavy now near Fayetteville. So we're going to do a traffic stop there.
There is one.
Do have an accident. There it is.
Whoops. All right, I got one of the two up.
We do have an accident.
This is in the River Valley.
Yep, Interstate 540.
Interstate
This is near
540.
exit 10 in the northbound lane. So this is near Old Greenwood Road.
Thank you so much. Now it looks like
Hey, stand by. We're going to go to traffic with Josh.
in the area, and it looks
We are
like-
monitoring actively an accident that is happening. So we're going to go ahead and send things over to Josh with the latest on your morning commute. How are things looking out there? What's going on?
Yeah, very treacherous travel conditions this morning, guys. And I do anticipate this to get worse as we move throughout the rest of the morning hours. This is Interstate 540. It's near exit 10, near Old Greenwood Road in the River Valley. Looks like there has been an accident in the northbound lane here. As you can see, traffic is moving very slowly. Still unknown the extent of this particular accident, but very heavy rainfall, no doubt about it, moving through the area at this time. Frequent lightning, heavy rain, large hail, and damaging winds, all possible during your morning commute this morning. So you got to make sure you give yourself plenty of extra time to get to where you're going so you can make it on time and safely. Still dry over our Rogers Pinnacle Parkway Towers camp, but that's going to be changing within the next few moments. We'll continue to keep you posted on the latest traffic information as we move throughout the rest of the show. But first, we'll take a quick break. So go to this comment
Yeah,
here.
just hopping on. Whoa.
Yeah,
What
whoa.
the heck just happened?
What just happened there?
Jumped up.
Okay. So I'm
East on
driving east on
412.
412.
Heavy rain.
Heavy
but you're
rain.
not totally screwed.
But I like this comment here from
Yeah.
Cheyenne. No tornado potential this morning.
No.
We cannot stress this enough. No tornado potential this morning with these storms. They're going to be loud. They're going to produce heavy rainfall. They may produce some gusty winds, some hail as well.
Yeah.
The hail could be quite large, but because we are north of that front, no tornado potential this morning.
Yeah.
Don't
Let's
have
go
to
to
worry
Mega
about
Doppler and show the little
Yeah.
pockets of hail.
You do that. I'm going to get my
Yeah.
show ready.
Yeah. So here's some of the little pockets of hail that are around. So this is a radar product. Displays the hail size. So right along I-49, I'm close, just north of Devil's Den State Park, just under severe criteria, 3/4 of an inch in size. But this is the bigger storm that has that bigger hail, over an inch. But again, that's tracking just west of our coverage area. It might clip part of Delaware County a little bit later on, but we'll keep an eye out for it in Delaware County. And this one also might move into Delaware County and maybe clip, depending on how it moves. Go back in time. It might clip far northwest sections of Benton County, but for the most part, it will start dying a little bit.
So
It'll
severe
be on the
thunderstorm
wind down.
warning's been dropped off in Washington County. So that has not been continued.
Okay, that's good.
So that's good to know. Let's do a radar tour off the top of this forecast.
Yeah.
Peyton as well.
Yep. Where do you want to start?
We'll just start with a wide view, and then we'll just kind of zoom in, and I'll just kind of make little cues to look at hail
Yep.
potential. Just curious, since the HRRR and did a terrible job Wednesday with the instability, will we see an upgrade to high? Do not think there will be an upgrade to high. The reason why is because there's a lot of nowcasting going on right
Yep.
now. They have to see where the warm front actually sets up. There's not enough confidence in that position, the warm front right now, I think, to warrant a high risk.
It's
But
pretty far south.
Yes.
Well, it's south of Hot Springs.
yeah, you'll see it here because I just updated the satellite. You'll see that during the full forecast here in just a minute. But we're about to come on, and we're coming on in about 20 seconds. So we'll take you through everything here, and we'll give you the latest.
7, 6, 5,
All right.
4,
It's full weather.
Your Weather Authority forecast with Josh Ruggard, certified most accurate by WeatherRate.
Very heavy rain is pushing through northwest Arkansas and the River Valley right now. You can see that here on some of our WeatherBug network cameras in the River Valley. I already experienced a lot of heavy rainfall along Interstate 540. Things really starting to ramp up along I-49 as well, especially in southern portions of Washington County. But a bit of a lightning show right now over our Fort Smith Public Library WeatherBug network camera. These storms going to be highly electrified as that energy continues to kick in. Widespread heavy rainfall now up and down the I-49 and Interstate 40 corridors. Let's go through a little radar tour here. We got meteorologist Peyton Langford in controlling the radar. See some very heavy rain ongoing in Washington County. We did have some large hail just a few moments ago with these storms, which is why there was a severe thunderstorm warning, but obviously that has dropped off a little bit. So that's a great sign. Let's go back to base reflectivity here. And let's go a little bit farther south into the River Valley. Again, we got this severe thunderstorm warning that's clipping western portions of Sequoia County. We'll have to watch this storm very closely because this has been producing some pretty big hail just off to the west of there. Just a few moments ago, there were some reports of maybe over 2-inch hail in those locations based off of radar. So again, widespread shower and storm development early this morning. There's that heavy rain along I-49 as well as Highway 62 and Highway 59 in between Fayetteville, Huntsville, and Japton. Go a little bit farther to the west. There's that severe thunderstorm again clipping western portions of Sequoia County, but very heavy rainfall being observed near Brushy and Salisaw. A little bit farther to the east, another thunderstorm there near Greenwood, just off to the south of Fort Smith. That's lifting off to the north and east at about 55 miles per hour with some small hail with these storms in Newton and southern Boone County as of 6:48 a.m. But as I just mentioned, highly electrified storms. Look at all these lightning strikes with these storms, and we've got more energy that's starting to surge out of central Oklahoma right now. We do have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect for the entire weather coverage area until 11 a.m. We'll watch a couple of these severe thunderstorms very closely just off to the east of Tulsa. That's the most intense thunderstorm right now, but I can't stress this enough. No tornado potential is expected this morning. That's because this stationary front is well south and east of our weather coverage area. On the south side of that front, we've got instability at the surface that's starting to increase. North of that front, we've got very cool air in place. You probably feel that as you step out the door. And that's why the position of this front is going to be very important this afternoon. You can see here on the day one convective outlook, Right now, the Storm Prediction Center has expected that warm front to be right along the I-40 corridor. That's why we've got that level 4 to 5 moderate risk of severe weather south of that warm front. But notice how that severe weather potential rapidly decreases the farther north and west you go. That's why we need to watch northwest Arkansas very closely. Main time frame for showers and storms between 2 to 9 p.m. and a few strong to intense tornadoes will be possible south and east of that front. You can see that here as we break down each threat. Again, it's all going to depend on the placement of that warm front. We could also see very large hail over 2 inches in diameter and damaging wind gusts up to 70 miles per hour. So let's time all this out on Future Track. Again, we've got showers and storms moving through right now. These will pose a hail and damaging wind threat. We could also see very heavy rainfall, so you got to make sure you're taking it nice and easy as you head off to work and school. A lot of the models are indicating that there will be a lull in the activity. Depending on how long that lasts, as we move throughout the early afternoon hours, that's going to determine the position of this warm front. This model has that warm front making it to the I-40 corridor. So notice how those temperatures are in the middle to upper 70s in the River Valley, upper 50s to lower 60s in northwest Arkansas. So the severe weather risk is a little bit lower along and north of the Bobby Hopper Tunnel. But any of these storms south of the warm front could be rotating. This particular model has shown a pretty persistent supercell moving through portions of Scott, Logan, and Johnson County. So we'll watch that very closely near Waldron and Boonville. I do think the main severe weather threat will shift east of the area by the time we get to about 8, 9 p.m., but more heavy rain expected as we move throughout the overnight hours tonight into early tomorrow morning. So we do have a flood watch in effect. That goes all the way until Sunday at 7 a.m. A rare high risk of excessive rainfall in place, especially along and east of the I-49 corridor, but every single location is going to have that threat for widespread flash flooding as we move throughout the rest of the day today. So an alert day in place today. High is going to be in the upper 60s in northwest Arkansas, lower 50s on Saturday. A little bit of snow potential possible Sunday morning, but that's not going to cause any impacts. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, temperatures start to warm up again. High is going to be in the lower to middle 70s with overnight lows in the 40s and 50s. Notice in the River Valley today, temperatures are expected to be warmer. That's because the warm front lifts north of I-40. We've got high temperatures in the lower to middle 70s for this afternoon with widespread severe weather potential. Flash flooding risk continues into Saturday before temperatures drop off into the middle 50s by the time we get to early Sunday morning. So that's what we're looking at, guys. Again, regardless if you're in northwest Arkansas or the River Valley, you have to stay weather aware because of that flash flooding potential. Everybody's going to see that today.
Yeah.
Depending on the position of that warm front, that's going to determine the extent of the intense tornado potential this afternoon. But it is a very serious situation. It's one we'll be watching very closely, and that's why we'll be here keeping you safe throughout the day today.
And we talked about those common spots in the River Valley that potentially could see some flooding. So make sure you go
Yes.
over to our
Yeah.
website. We do have a full list of those. If you live in the River Valley, or if you're heading
Absolutely.
up that way, there are some common spots that get a little tricky
Yes.
around this time.
That's why it's always important to give yourself extra time this morning, right? If you're in a
Absolutely.
rush, you're going to get into issues. You're going to start hydroplaning. I've experienced it before. It's not something you want to
Mhm.
deal with. It's very dangerous. So just take it nice and easy.
Sure.
Well, and again, those low-lying areas, those low-riding vehicles, problematic.
Yes.
And it's scary. I mean, you can very easily get swept off your feet. It doesn't take much for a car to become submerged in
Yes.
water. Very concerning. I know you mentioned that this morning we don't have concern necessarily with the tornado threat,
Right.
but we do have over on our website tornado shelter information
That's very
as
good.
well.
Yeah.
So if we get to that point, there is that information on KNWA.
Yeah, great
Fantastic.
tip.
Yep.
All right. Thanks so much, Josh. We'll be right back with your out the door headlines.
Cool. So that's what we're looking at. That's the latest.
Mhm.
We went through it all. Oh, camera.
Start
I already had enough time on me. I was just on TV. Let's get this thing on Peyton here.
There's your 7 day.
There's a 7-day. Yep.
Get
And
warm.
isn't it crazy? We've got a little bit of snow potential still Sunday morning.
I know.
That's crazy.
Unreal.
It's wild. That shows how dynamic the system is. though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a highly dynamic system.
They're strong systems. You do get a lot of that cold air wrapping around.
Yeah, absolutely. So, we got more accidents.
Another accident.
Hey,
Oh, is it another one or the same one?
Another one also
Okay.
on
Oh, 'cause
540.
I see one for exit 5, one for exit 10. Oh, are we doing that today? Oh, I didn't think we were doing it today.
I mean,
we're just gonna make this traffic report then, I guess now.
for now.
I got a minute
it's-
left.
Okay.
So, what accident is
I
that?
got you.
one that
So that's exit 5.
Let's see if-
That's close to the Arkansas River.
Not seeing,
I'm gonna go back here.
Yeah.
not seeing any injuries on that one.
No
On the
injuries?
one on 5 or
No,
10.
or either
Yeah,
one.
Either one. Okay, good.
that's good. Dude, we need to set it up to where we get those emails.
We used to get them.
Oh, they go to the KNWA News?
Yeah, but it may go in like your focus, the other focus box. It doesn't go
We don't
in
get
the
'em.
box.
We don't get them.
Yeah,
we used to get them.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Okay. The whole 90 seconds shot. Okay.
Zero visibility
Yeah, it goes to the
from
other
Elkins to
range.
Fayetteville.
If you
Woo.
jump in,
It's very some heavy rain.
Southbound.
Mm. I tried. Well, I did make the rule so that way I don't get any of the ACT emails because I don't need that.
The act
But-
emails.
Yeah. But the RDOT emails, I want those. Give them to me.
You know what? Maybe I'll send this to you and maybe there's a,
We only get the pointless
I don't know,
ones.
number 5.
We only get the pointless ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, the visibility. I might need to show that in this traffic report.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Very low visibility because of the very heavy rain.
Yes. Okay, so let's see. Let me go back and look here.
Someone said a little bit of hail in Hinesville.
Makes sense.
Mhm.
15.
Sure was. A little bit of hail.
We're coming back on.
All right,
here.
coming back.
Yep.
Yeah, for the final block.
All right, we got multiple accidents to report in portions of the River Valley this morning. The first one is in the northbound lane of Interstate 540. We talked about this just a few moments ago. This is going to be near exit 10, Old Greenwood Road. As you can see, traffic is slowing down right now. Very heavy rainfall ongoing in portions of the River Valley at this time. So you got to make sure you're taking it nice and easy. Another accident to report along Interstate 540. This is going to be near the Arkansas River Bridge in exit 5. This one is in the southbound lane. And as you can see, traffic is slowing down once again. So folks, got to make sure you take it nice and easy this morning. Very heavy rainfall ongoing. That's reducing visibilities at this time. We actually have a Facebook Live that's going on. Some folks are talking about that, especially in Northwest Arkansas. It's not widespread low visibilities, but you can see visibility being reduced to about 1 to 2 miles along I-49 and Interstate 540. But let's go ahead and do a little radar tour here, Peyton. Meteorologist Peyton Langford is in right now. He's watching these storms very closely with me. There's those showers of storms that are ongoing along I-49 right now. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning that we're watching very closely here. This is west of our weather coverage area right now, but some of these storms could produce some large hail and damaging winds. We'll watch these trends very closely. That's a bit of an uptrend in terms of the hail right there, so we're going to be watching that very closely. Let's go back to base reflectivity just real quick. Let's go down to these storms in the River Valley again. Very heavy rainfall along I-40 near Ozark and Fort Smith. So again, just make sure you're taking it nice and easy. Give yourself plenty of extra time to get to where you're going so you can make it on time and safely this morning. But before we wrap things up, wanted to show you that severe weather outlook real quick for this afternoon. You can see here we still have a level 4 out of 5 moderate risk of severe weather in place along and south of Interstate 40. Intense tornadoes possible this afternoon. Stay weather aware, folks, between 2 to 9 p.m. Join us on Fox 24 News at 7 o'clock for all the latest details this morning. Have a safe and happy rest of your Friday, and we'll see you next week starting at 5. There you go. Cool.
Cool.
So now we're doing the Fox 24 show.
Mm-hmm.
So very similar. We're going to be going in and out of here and stuff like that. But Peyton's going to be keeping you updated here. Meteorologist Peyton Langford, a.k.a. the Baja Brother. As they
AKA
say.
something else.
Yes.
New nickname.
I'm thinking of
You what? Yeah, trash.
hey, you know what I'm thinking of, by the way, when I say the
Yeah.
Baja Brother? You know how at Razorback baseball games they have the
Yeah.
Evo Loy and
Mhm.
Gio? They call them the Bash Brothers.
Right.
Yes. So we're the Baja Brothers.
Yeah, Jack, my show
Okay.
is not the greatest.
In Fayetteville, should we go somewhere safer this afternoon? So if you're in a mobile home, you need to make sure you know where to go in case tornadoes strike, because you do not want to be in a mobile home when there is severe weather. Cannot stress that enough.
No.
Now, Fayetteville's severe weather potential, I would say this afternoon, is lower than the River Valley.
Yes,
But
significantly lower.
I don't want to let our guard down.
Right.
I will say 95% of the time that warm front doesn't make it all the way up here. But there is that 5% of the time when it does. And if it does, we're going to have that intense tornado potential along and north of the Bobby Hopper Tunnel as well. But I do think areas in the River Valley have a much greater risk for sure this afternoon. I mean, I think it's pretty much a slam dunk that warm front at least makes it into Scott, LaFleur County.
Yeah, I think
At
the
the
eastern
very
fringe of our
least.
weather coverage areas, Scott, Logan, Johnson County.
Yeah, definitely. Am I starting off the top here, Shannon?
You are.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Bless up.
Van Buren area right now,
That's a good question.
some fairly light rain. Might be a little bit heavier or a little bit further east.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna start our Fox 20 forecast, and Josh is gonna take us off the top. First forecast kind of deal.
First forecast kind of deal.
Yeah, all right.
I'll do a little mega Doppler stuff.
All right.
Showers and thunderstorms are pushing through northwest Arkansas and the River Valley early this morning. Look at this scene over our Mount Sequoia Weatherbug Network camera. That rain very heavy, reducing visibilities along the interstates and highways. We already have some accidents early this morning, especially in portions of the River Valley. 2 accidents, one in the northbound and southbound lane along Interstate 540 near exit 5 and 10. Folks, got to make sure you're taking it nice and easy. Obviously, very heavy rainfall ongoing in the River Valley. We're going to do a quick little radar tour here real quick. We've got meteorologist Peyton Langford in studio watching these storms very closely. Again, heavy rain in northwest Arkansas right now. We've also got some showers and storms ongoing between Fort Smith and Ozark. A few severe thunderstorm warnings just off to our west as well. We'll have to watch these storms very closely as they race off to the north and east. But I can't stress this enough. The tornado potential this morning is non-existent. These storms are going to produce frequent lightning, heavy rainfall, large hail, and damaging wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. You can see all that heavy rain between Fayetteville, West Fork, and Winslow right now. A lot of those showers and storms also starting to intensify in Benton County. There's that severe thunderstorm warning clipping western portions of Sequoia County. That hail size has gone up about 1.5 inches now, along with 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. That severe thunderstorm warning goes all the way until 7:15 a.m. You also got some showers and storms ongoing between Fort Smith and Ozark, and those storms are racing off to the north and east at about 55 miles per hour. We do have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect until 11 a.m. this morning. 2 rounds of showers and storms possible. The first one that's moving through right now, again, more of a hail and damaging wind threat. But in the River Valley this afternoon, we could see widespread severe weather potential. In fact, there's a level 4 to 5 moderate risk of severe weather, especially along and east of the I-49 corridor. We're going to time out that second round of showers and storms so you can know what to expect coming up in your full Fox 20 forecast in about 10 minutes. But first, your news at 7 starts right now.
Taking you further. It's the
Good morning. Thank you so much for tuning in on this Hawaii. And I'm actually loving it. We really appreciate you for being here. Very active morning in the weather front, but we're going to get to that in just a second. First, we're going to go to
Because we're north of the front. So look, I'll show you.
This comes after the longest rain in 68-year-old Bruce Ward passed away Tuesday of natural causes. Arkansas Governor the law professor is Hutchinson.
But north of the front, you've got more of an easterly, northeasterly component. That's why those winds are so much cooler. That's why these storms are elevated in nature. ASMR weather.
This is ASMR weather.
But that's the reason why.
This happens like on that.
Oh,
Yeah.
3 minutes.
So we're whispering, guys, because we're in a live show right now. We cannot talk very loud right now. So because the anchors are talking, we're doing a live show that people on TV are watching, so we can't interrupt them. So right now we're in a package so we can talk louder.
I'm gonna make a track real
Yes.
quick for Adair and Delaware County.
But that's the reason why we're whispering. So Peyton's going to make a storm track real quick here. While he's doing that, I'm just going to kind of flip through some of the graphics. Look at all this energy that was moving into northwest Arkansas. I mean, my goodness, we have so much energy moving through the area. Copious amounts of rain round after round after round, showers and storms. This is why that flash flooding potential is so much higher here in northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
90 miles per hour storm motion.
Wow, these storms are moving fast. You know, one thing I'm looking at right now, Peyton, unless we get some more convection that breaks out off to the south and west, it's kind of a bit of a hole in the convection
Yeah.
southwest of I-40 right now. And I'm seeing that on the wider view of satellite.
Are you
photos.
kidding me? 90 miles per hour?
It's unbelievable. And it's moving like due north. Basically.
Yeah.
At least the hail core is, which is good because that hail is pretty big now.
It's almost like that.
Yeah. So Peyton's going to pull that up right now and show you.
There's the track. Here, I'll move this a little bit. Whoops. Gotta do it again.
Oh no, you can do this. You can just
What?
do this. Yeah,
There's
go.
a shortcut.
Just go like.
Oh.
Yeah.
Didn't know that. All right, so Pryor 7:14. That's in about 10 minutes. Tahlequah 7:17. Bonita 7:31. Jay at 7:40, and Miami 7:49. It's a pretty fast-moving system.
Because we have a live show and I have to be on air.
Yeah.
I have to give people who are watching on TV the forecast. So, I mean, I wish we had a separate room. That would be pretty cool. Maybe we could put that in the budget. But we make do with what we have, right,
Right.
Peyton?
Right.
We make do with what we have.
So that's what we're looking at as far as where that storm system is moving. We could take a look at the hail tracks too. I'm gonna pull up. I'm gonna keep on Mega Doppler for now while I
Yeah.
get that.
You just keep doing that, and I'm gonna
But-
keep my show. I'm gonna keep making my show here.
We'll get the hail tracks. So this is kind of where the larger hail is.
Yeah, that was on Gabrielle Raven reporting there are now 24 prisoners on death row. 10 of those have exhausted their appeals process, meaning their names have not been turned over to the
1.5 inches. It's also a little bit winslow and westward. Some small hail in the river valley, possibly.
But you can read more about Bruce Earl Ward's death and his timeline of appeals, as well as more on the 24 inmates that remain on death row over on the website. Well, having a program on the side, Governor Sanders has announced the National Guard will be mobilized to four firefighters together to be dispatched across the area.
Pack your swim trunks.
It's going to turn into a triathlon.
Yeah.
Or biathlon. Running and swimming. Pretty big.
Now, as we prepare for that active threat of severe weather we've been talking about all morning, here in our viewing area, most weather conditions have already devastated many homes and businesses throughout the state. Something for the California videos, and Patrick Tunnel, from the Weather Channel, who is not important clear.
So right now we're in a package again. But we're just keeping an eye on these storms right now. I would say the biggest storm, the chunkiest storm right now, Peyton, is west of the area right now. It's a big one. I mean, it's producing pretty big hail too.
Yeah.
But it's moving due north at 90
It'll
miles
drop
per
off.
hour. It has dropped off.
Maybe it's gusting out.
Maybe it's gusting
Started
out.
speeding up
Yeah.
a little bit.
I mean, it's getting really far away from the station right now.
Yeah.
It's getting really far away. Now, here's one thing that I'm noticing.
Fairly strong winds at times.
Yeah, just off to the west of Tahlequah. But again, you know, there's nothing that's going to be rotating at the surface. There might be
No.
elevated areas of rotation, but at the surface, there will not be anything. Now, anything for Rogers right now, very heavy rain. That is for sure. Peyton's zooming in on that. We're going to have some very heavy rain, maybe some small hail too. They'll be moving through the area. I don't see anything right now.
Some hail over Huntsville.
Yep,
Whoa, this might go severe.
that might go severe too. Yep. Frogs are croaking at the pond. They love it. I mean,
Just
they
south of
probably do. They
Berryville.
need that.
Just south of Highway 62.
Probably less than a minute until we got.
Perfect. So I'm about to come back on air here.
Some more hail over here. Mulberry.
Yep.
This traffic.
One more segment and then traffic.
But that's what's coming up for you. It's traffic.
We'll show the front and the full forecast.
Yeah.
We'll have a full forecast soon.
So we'll do it. We'll do it. You can do a traffic break, then a commercial break, and then we'll come to the full Fox 20 forecast. We'll go to the traffic update for one of the River Valley especially.
And you don't have a place to go. There are community storm shelters that will be open to the community over on our website, fox24news.tv. You can find a map of locations in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
Let's go ahead and send things over to Josh with a look at your morning traffic report on this Friday morning. Looks like that accident is still going behind you.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. And very heavy rainfall as well, making it pretty hard to see this accident over this particular camera. This is in the northbound lane of Interstate 540. This is going to be near exit 10, Old Greenwood Road. As you can see, those police lights in the distance there, traffic slowing down quite a bit. Very heavy rainfall on the I-540 and Interstate 49 corridors. Another accident in the southbound lane of I-540. That one's near the Arkansas River Bridge and exit 5. Visibility is being reduced right now to about 1 to 2 miles up and down the I-49 corridor. Very heavy rainfall ongoing over Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley at this time, folks. Make sure you're taking it nice and easy as you head off to work and school. We'll continue to keep you posted on the latest traffic information throughout the rest of the show. But first, we'll take a quick break.
You're watching Fox 24 News at 7 with Jack
House, Asher Brothers, and your weather authority forecast with Harper Rugger. Woof, woof. Okay. So, no tornadoes, Paige. No tornadoes. Not this morning. This afternoon, if you live in the River Valley, you do need to stay weather aware, though, because that tornado potential will be there as that front lifts off to the north. What do you think Rogers will get today? Very heavy rain.
A lot of lightning.
A lot of lightning, significant flash flooding potential, large hail, damaging winds. I don't think the warm front makes it to Benton County.
No.
I would be shocked if that front made it to Benton County. I could see a scenario where it makes it to like Washington County. Like that's just far
So
north.
hard to get it north of the
But,
Bobby Hopper Tunnel.
Yeah, it's just they can't push over that mountains, especially with all the cloud cover in place.
Yeah.
We have a lot of cloud cover in place. It's going to be very difficult. My dog Bentley does not like storms. You know, Harper's like a storm chasing dog. She loves storms.
So I've heard.
We're praying for Bentley. Bentley, you got this, man. You got this. Let's see here. Is there any developments south of the storms that will hit Northwest Arkansas? Well, there's a constant development going on. I mean, it's just like a stream of moisture.
It might not be as intense in the next little bit, but there's some pretty intense stuff going on just east of the interstate.
Yeah, Paige, you need to stay weather aware in Winslow. I mean, that would be the farthest north I could see the front getting.
Yeah.
So, you know, maybe not, you're not going to have as high end of a tornado threat as the River Valley this afternoon. If that front doesn't make it, you'll have no tornado threat. But I would still say stay weather aware there in southern Washington County, just in case. Better to be prepared.
That started to uptick, man.
That storm's going to,
Not even severe.
that might have a severe thunderstorm warning pretty soon.
Just north of Mulberry.
Yep.
Might be seeing a little bit.
Pretty decent sized hail there. I'm gonna take this off. About to have a
little bit of hail along Highway 62, just southeast of Berryville. We'll have the full forecast coming up in just a second. That'll answer a lot of your questions about position of the front. When will the front start moving north? What's the tornado threat and the timing for it? We'll unpack it all in the Fox 20 forecast in about 20 seconds.
Yeah.
15 plus the 7.
Yeah. Always got to take that into account.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
There it is. New severe thunderstorm warning.
Perfect.
So that'll be for right here. Here we go for the full Fox 20 forecast.
Your Weather Authority forecast with Josh Rugger, certified most accurate by Weather Rate.
Strong thunderstorms are pushing through Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley this morning. Very heavy rainfall being reported in Rogers right now. Traffic being impacted up and down the I-49 and Interstate 540 corridors. We got meteorologist Peyton Langford in right now. He's going to do a little radar tour with me. Let's talk about those showers and storms that are ongoing in Northwest Arkansas right now. You can see some very heavy rainfall there in Fayetteville. Also some stronger storms in and around the Ozark area at this time. Some large hail being produced there by that one storm that's just off to the north and west of Ozark. Looks like that's hail up to the size of a quarter. So not be surprised if we saw another severe thunderstorm warning here Looks like we got a new severe thunderstorm warning that was issued as well. Peyton, let's zoom out and go take a look at that. That's going to be up here towards Delaware County, Adair County as well. This storm right here, particularly intense right now, just off to the west of Tahlequah. It has been producing some pretty large hailstones, wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. So watch that storm very closely as it races off to the north and east towards Siloam Springs and the Jay, Oklahoma area. But here's a closer look at live Doppler radar. Again, we got some very heavy rainfall along I-49 between Rogers, Springdale, Fayetteville, and West Fork. Some more heavy rain near Huntsville and Japton as well in Madison County. There's another severe thunderstorm that just got dropped off, just off to the west of Sequoia County near Highway 59. Very heavy rain as well that we just mentioned there in between Alma and Ozark along Interstate 40. But folks, this is going to be the name of the game this morning. A constant flux of energy moving into northwest Arkansas and the River Valley this morning. Thankfully, the warm front is off to our south, so we're not expecting any tornado potential, but frequent lightning, very heavy rainfall going to be the main concerns as you head off to work and school. And there's a look at the severe thunderstorm watch in effect for the entire KNWA coverage area until 11 a.m. Severe thunderstorm warning again for northern Adair and portions of Delaware County with that intense thunderstorm. But look at that, more energy starting to develop right now just south of Interstate 40. And this is going to be the name of the game as long as that stationary front stays off to our south and east. There's the current position of the front. We've got a lot of moisture that's moving in south of that front right now. But on the northern side of the front, we've got that cooler easterly wind, which is why the tornado threat is pretty much non-existent, at least during the morning hours. But later on this afternoon, that front is going to attempt to surge off to the north and west. In the latest day one convective outlook, the Storm Prediction Center is forecasting that warm front just east of the I-49 corridor along Interstate 40. That's why we have a level 4 to 5 moderate risk of severe weather in place as severe weather potential gradually drops off as you get farther north and west. If you are in the River Valley today, you need to stay weather aware. Between 2 to 9 p.m., we could see a few strong, intense tornadoes as that warm front lifts off to the north and west. And this is a pretty serious situation that we'll have to watch very closely. Again, just east of the I-49 corridor, that's where the strong tornado potential will exist. We also have the threat for large hailstones over 2 inches in diameter and damaging wind gusts up to 70 miles per hour. So 2 distinct rounds of showers and storms. The first one's moving through right now. As you can see here on Future Track, I think that heavy rain threat will continue until about 11 a.m. and 12 p.m. We will see a little lull in the activity, but a lot of the models are indicating that cloud cover and showers will be hanging around northwest Arkansas, so that will keep the warm front likely off to the south and east of the Bobby Hopper Tunnel. We'll watch that very closely. But notice those temperatures in the River Valley at 2, 3 p.m., middle to upper 70s in portions of Ozark, Boonville, and Waldron. Showers and storms breaking out. Again, any one of these storms could rotate along and south of Interstate 40 as that warm front remains in place. For northwest Arkansas, still a very heavy rain, still a pretty distinct, very heavy rainfall threat. But we'll have to watch the large hail potential very closely as those storms continue to surge off to the north and east during the late afternoon and early evening hours. And obviously, more shower and storm potential as we move throughout Saturday morning as well, which could lead to significant flash flooding. In fact, we have a flood watch in effect for the entire Fox 24 coverage area. That goes until 7 a.m. on Sunday. A very rare level 4 out of 4 high risk of excessive rainfall just east of I-49 along Interstate 40 with widespread flash flooding potential also in place over northwest Arkansas. So we do have an alert day in place. It is imperative that you stay weather aware as we move throughout the rest of the day today. 100% chance of showers and storms in the forecast. High temperatures will be dropping off to the lower 50s on Saturday into Sunday, so we could have a few snowflakes pushing through the area. We'll watch those trends very, very closely. Highs for the early part of next week will be in the lower to middle 60s with mostly sunny skies expected to prevail. But make sure you got that heavy coat ready to rock and roll. Overnight lows will be dropping off to the upper 20s to right around 30 degrees. River Valley, widespread severe weather potential this afternoon. Highs are going to be in the lower to middle 70s, lower 60s on Saturday. A little bit of precip possible Saturday night into early Sunday morning before temperatures warm up into the upper 60s, so right around 70 degrees as we move throughout the early part of next week. So we'll stay weather aware as we go throughout the rest of the day. I'm going to go ahead and send things over to you, Jackie, with our special guest in studio.
Thanks so much, Josh. We are manifesting sunshine for this event.
All right. So here's the latest track of that new severe thunderstorm warning. It's dropped off to 80 miles per hour, so not moving at 90 miles per hour, but spapping off in about 5 minutes.
Did you say 80 miles per hour?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I know. It was 90.
It was 90. It's slow down.
Colcord 736, Grove 739. Lightning now.
Yeah, I got some thunder out there.
Gravit 7:49. But yeah, it's moving along pretty fast.
And more thunderstorms coming towards Interstate 540 right now.
Yep.
Another
I
complex.
don't know how this is not severe.
Man, that is pretty consistent. Look at this. Look what Peyton's looking at. Pretty large hail moving towards Cass right now in Yale.
So that says 1.4 inches for the readout.
Yeah, that's above severe limits for sure.
That block.
Yeah, blocked. What about that hail and that severe thunderstorm warning that just got issued for Adair and Delaware County? Has it dropped off a little bit?
Oh yeah, it's gusting out.
It's gusting out.
Yeah.
Makes sense. There's no instability.
Nope.
It can't maintain its strength. That they kind of just rev up for about 30 minutes and then they die off.
Yeah, the further you get, the less fuel you have to work with, and then you're just like a car running out of gas. It's slow down.
Exactly. But here's the deal. Here's the deal. When that warm front lifts to the north and west in the river valley later on this afternoon, we're going to have what's called rapid destabilization. So right now temperatures are in the 50s. We can actually show the temperatures right now. I haven't even been able to show that all morning because I don't have time to. But let's go ahead and show the temperatures right now. So I'm going to go to weather 1. Look at this. 40s in Benton County. 40s. River Valley, a little bit warmer, middle to upper 50s, but that's still not enough for tornado potential.
Yeah, and you can almost see the warm front, the temperature gradient.
You can, just off to the south and east of Little Rock right now. And I bet if I went to the dew points, you'd see, again, those darker greens
Go to the regional.
southeast of Little Rock right now. The dew points are not very high in northwest Arkansas. Man,
There's where the warm front is.
it's pretty far south.
Stationary front.
Pretty far south.
Mhm.
Now let's go ahead and show a future track for the dew points right now.
Yeah, do that dew point one that I made with like the gradient. Like the
Yeah.
greens and browns.
Yeah, it shows the
Really
dry line.
Stark contrast. You can see dry line. Fronts there it is.
It's right there. So we're going to show you the dew points.
There's that stationary front.
So Lacey, Centerton, very low threat for
Yeah.
tornadoes.
Yeah.
If the warm front lifts that far north, I would be shocked. But I don't think there will be a whole lot of tornado potential in Centerton today, this morning or this afternoon. So this is the graphic that Peyton made. So look at this. The warm front, slowly moves to the north and east. Slowly moves. And look at that. This is at 4 p.m. So this is when
dew
our severe
points
weather risk.
do creep up in the 60s.
Yeah, they do creep up.
And
in-
that's Fayetteville.
yeah, but that's still not going to get it done.
No.
You're not going to see any significant tornado potential north of those darker greens
Right.
because that's where the warm front's positioned. It's right there.
Now storms will override that. They'll go up and over the front and make it into
Yeah.
northwest Arkansas. So you will still see rain and
They will
storms,
be very yes.
but the severe weather threat drops off significantly.
Yeah.
It's kind of similar to what we're seeing now, where the storms are so far from the warm front that they're just dying out slowly over
Mhm.
time. And that's something we'll see again, although it'll be a little bit noisier.
It'll be a little bit more electrified this afternoon. That's for sure. And I will say this. I mentioned this on the show. Just kind of giving a shout out to Razorback baseball. They should go ahead and cancel the game.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Let's get ready to rumble. Yeah.
They posted that last night?
Yeah. That's not.
No.
It shouldn't happen.
Skies are getting ready to rumble.
Skies are getting ready. Let's get ready to snorkel.
Doing laps out in,
out in the
Yeah.
out in the hog
out
pen.
in the hog pen.
Man,
for
if
sure.
they had a game today in the hog pen, man, it would be feeling
Dude,
like
that
one.
hog pen can fly.
Look at little piggies out there.
Roll around in the mud.
Roll around in the mud. So how bad for Fort Smith today? This is a very important question. Fort Smith might be under the gun.
Mhm.
Might have to watch it very closely. Might be, though, a little bit too far west. That's the thing. It's the farther
Yeah.
south and east you go because the warm front's elongated like
Mhm.
this, right? If I go back to weather 1 here,
Yeah, it stretches from northeast to southwest.
right. So I'm going to pull up that right now. This is the position of the warm front. Honestly, it might have shifted even farther south because this is this morning.
Mm-hmm.
This was like at 4 a.m. Look at the wind gradient. It's actually shifting a little bit farther south now, more towards like
Yeah.
southeast Arkansas. So regardless, the way it's elongated right now, the way it's positioned like this, the farther east you go, farther south and east you go, the more likely you are to be south of that warm front.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this. What worries me about Fort Smith the most is that if that warm front does barely nudge its way into Fort Smith,
Yeah.
you could get a boundary rider.
Right.
there. I mean, if you are right along that warm front and that storm takes the correct track, and that's really a favorable favorable warm front position for those storms to take a northeasterly track, those can get really out of hand. That's
how
your
you get those
intense.
long track intense tornadoes.
That's how you get your violent tornado potential right there. And that is something we are concerned about.
Doesn't happen every time.
Exactly. Every situation is different. The one
Yeah.
thing that could make this, maybe not be as big of a deal is the storm mode.
Yep.
Multiple clusters of thunderstorms developing. We could also see, a lot of these storms with destructive
Yep.
interference,
Mhm.
right? Not constructive.
Choking each
interference.
other off.
Choking each other off.
One storm
Yes.
absorbing the cold pool and the outflow of the other storm.
Yes. So somebody was asking, can you show how far north the front gets? So this is my forecasted position. This is how
All right.
far north I think the front will get. So if I move this a little bit closer, notice how Fort Smith is like right on the edge of that.
Yeah.
But this is my forecasted warm front position. I think it will likely get right along the I-40 corridor and stall out there and not move any farther north than west.
I'm hoping it stays where it is right now.
Yeah, if it stays where it is right now, then everybody's in good shape.
Yeah.
Except if you live in, I guess, in southern
North-
Arkansas.
Northern Louisiana.
Yeah, but even then, they're going to be away from the better dynamics and stuff like that because this low pressure system is what's really going to enhance that tornado potential in this moderate risk area. I would be shocked if it didn't make it up to Scott County at the very least. Like, I think it will at least make it to these areas. If I were storm chasing today, I would probably be in Little Rock and taking the I-30 corridor. That's where I would be. But if you're storm chasing, you're going to be in for a very stressful chase because this area right
The roads
here,
are not great.
this is the Ouachita Mountains, and that is very dangerous.
Highway 7.
Yeah, Highway 7. Wherever the warm front is, will anything be lacking? Yeah, if you're north of the warm front, it'll be very lacking for surface-based instability. Surface-based instability cannot occur.
South and along the warm front, nah. All these storms will be surface-based because of that rapid destabilization, warming the surface, unloading that cap, and unloading severe weather potential.
Oh, Margie. It'll be a little while. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
It'll be a little while. Let's zoom in Rogers right now. It's going to be a little while before it lightens up in Rogers. You're right smack dab in the middle of the heavy rain. I guess you might have a little break coming up in about 10 to 15 minutes, but then there's another round of heavy rain coming behind it. This is what we're talking about with the flash flooding potential. So Justice, Bella Vista has a slight, but I'm going to go back here. Look at the tornado risk in Bella Vista, though.
Storms don't follow colors.
Look at that. There's no tornado potential in the day one outlook in Bella Vista. It makes sense. It makes sense because there's not going to be any instability. Look at the gradient, though. I mean, it is a sharp cutoff from that tornado potential. You get right here on that outlook, and then boom, gone. Gone. Now, you will have the potential for some large hail in Bella Vista for sure. I would say the damaging wind threat's there too. I would say that's a little bit undervalued.
Yeah.
I'd say there'll probably be that potential always when the storms gust out. But large hail is pretty much the main concern north of that front. If you're south of that front, though, you got everything. Everything can happen south of the front, including the strong tornado threat. Let's see here. Is it going to be bad in Oklahoma? Honestly, southeast Oklahoma.
Yeah, southeast Oklahoma.
But west of there, Oklahoma City?
Right, no.
Yeah,
Tulsa, no, not really either.
No issues there, I don't think. Just heavy rain.
Yeah.
Which I don't want to discount the heavy rain threat. I haven't been able to show this like at all today because we're talking about all the storms this morning. But this is pretty rare to see, Peyton.
I mentioned this yesterday on Fox 24 News at 5:30.
It
is pretty rare to see a high risk. I really only ever see it with I've only ever seen it with like tropical systems.
Yeah.
And like these low pressure stuff, so I've seen it in Houston a lot. Houston or Florida along the coast. But see it in Arkansas. It's pretty rare. I've seen it over Tennessee, Kentucky.
I have seen it there too.
Just because you get those systems that ride just west of the Appalachian Mountains.
They just go nuts.
Yeah.
They just go nuts.
But it's pretty rare.
I can't believe I have to put this catastrophic. That's what it is. That's
It's
the
possible,
definition.
Yeah. Prairie Grove, how's that looking? Waiting for the son's school bus. Hey, now's the best time. Now, if you got to do anything, now's the best time for the bus to come and send them out there. But you got this little guy that's moving just northwest of Prairie Grove. But right now is the lightest part, so that's good. It's a little bit stronger in Bentonville and Bella Vista and Rogers. So Prairie Grove actually has some of the lightest precipitation in northwest Arkansas right now. Rogers risk 4 tornadoes today. Let me pull it up real quick.
Pretty low.
Pretty low.
We're not gonna let our guard down though. But I would say it's pretty low.
Yeah. Oh, that is the day 2. The day 1.
Okay, we're about to do baby weather after that.
After for the week.
It is Friday, and you know what that means. We are hoping to find a sweet four-legged companion, a perfect. He is so funny. Come on, and we just need somebody to call.
There's a secure one, right?
With you for Popeye, the dog. Taylor from
So the old Greenwood Road accident got cleared.
None on I-49.
None on I-49. There's still that one that's near the Arkansas River Bridge.
All right, so we have pet of the week. That's a cute dog, a cute toy.
Very cute dog.
They'll have a small one. Do I need a dog?
Yeah.
No, but my cat needs one.
His cat's. You want to know what his cat's name is?
What? Muppet.
No, Nato.
Nato?
So for tornado. NADO. Yeah, not like the North American Trade Organization or whatever. The treaty. No, not NATO. NATO. Short for tornado.
Happy like night.
Yeah. And that was my worst mistake naming him that.
Okay.
Because he is crazy. I found him at like 4 or 5 weeks old.
I'm about to be on here.
Baby weather coming up.
Baby weather.
Yeah, he's psycho.
Maybe we'll do a radar.
Yeah. So Josh will actually be right back there. Whoops.
Yo, what up? Dog.
Here we go to baby weather.
Let's go ahead and send things over to Josh Rugger. Josh, we know that we were monitoring a few accidents. One of those you did tell us is cleared.
Yes, absolutely. The one along Interstate 540 in the northbound lane near exit 10 has been cleared, but there still is an accident in the southbound lane near exit 5. Want to talk about those thunderstorms that are ongoing right now. Meteorologist Peyton Langford is here in studio with me. He's going to take us through some of these thunderstorms. Here's a wider view right now. You can see widespread heavy rainfall, obviously still in place right now. Northwest Arkansas experiencing some of the stronger thunderstorms. In fact, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning that's just off to the west of Benton County. That does include northern Adair and portions of Delaware County. You can see some small hailstones still being reported with this particular storm, but it is racing off to the north and east very quickly at 80 miles per hour. Very heavy rainfall on the I-49 corridor between Bentonville and Springdale as well. There's another look at that severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect. Again, this goes until 8 o'clock a.m. That's for northern Adair and portions of Delaware County. And again, this storm is moving very fast to the north and east at about 80 miles per hour. I did make a storm track on this particular storm. You can see Pineville, 7:45 a.m., maybe portions of Bella Vista right around 7:48, 8:08 a.m. in Cassville. And then it should move east of our weather coverage area by the time we get to about 8:20 or 8:30 a.m. There's those thunderstorms in the River Valley right now, just along and south of Interstate 40. If you think you're done in Fort Smith, you got another round of showers and storms moving through the area. Thankfully, these are below severe limits at this particular time. A little bit farther east into the higher train of northwest Arkansas, there's a stronger storm right now producing some hail near the St. Paul area and south of Huntsville and that's racing off to the north and east very, very quickly. But look at all these lightning strikes right now, folks. I mean, we have got thousands of lightning strikes across our weather coverage area. That is going to be the main concern with these thunderstorms as they continue to move through our weather coverage area. A lot of energy to contend with right now, guys. This is why we were talking about that flash flooding potential. You could see why. These training thunderstorms moving over the same areas, dropping copious amounts of rain. We do have a flood watch that remains in place until Sunday at 7 a.m. Severe thunderstorm watch in effect until 11 a.m. I just saw out of the corner of my eye what Peyton was looking at on Weather 2. Let's actually go to Weather 2 right now. Peyton, keep that up right now. Go to Weather 2 real quick for us, guys, if you're in the control room, because I want to show what Peyton just pulled up right now. He pulled up the lightning strike counter for Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley, and it is just absolutely incredible. So if we could pull that up, there it is. Look how many lightning strikes. This is in, I think, about a 15-minute time period there. 2,216 lightning strikes and counting. That's unbelievable.
Cloud to ground.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy. A lot of crackles and booms this morning. My goodness.
Absolutely. And get this, guys, we're north of the warm front right now, right? So these are less intense thunderstorms, right, in terms of tornado potential. And yet it shows you how much energy is pushing through our weather coverage area. So later on this afternoon, as that warm front lifts off to the north and west, very important to stay weather aware, especially in the River Valley as those temperatures start to warm up and we get that second round of showers and storms between 2 and 10 p.m.
So flooding is going to be a concern all day long?
Pretty much all day long. We will get a little lull in the activity, maybe between 12 to 3 p.m. But for Northwest Arkansas, if that cloud cover sticks around, if that energy continues to kick in, we'll still see some scattered showers or storms that could be hanging around. But again, frequent lightning, no matter where you are, flash flooding potential, no matter where you are. And this is why those roadways can be a little bit treacherous, not only as you head off to work at school, but also as you head
Yes,
back.
be careful out there this morning. Make sure you
Yes.
have our Weather Authority app. Check the weather before you head out of the door. Take your time for sure as you are out there. We already saw 2 accidents this morning.
Yes.
Definitely. Be safe. We will be right back after this very quick break.
But that would be insane. 185 kiloamps?
2,118 lightning strikes. Are you kidding me?
Unreal.
That's unbelievable. I'm going to go back here. Yeah, go back to Weather 2. Holy cow, Peyton.
That is a lot.
I saw that out of the corner of my eye when I
Yeah.
was like walking back to the middle, and I was like, "What?
That's
Let's
a
gotta
lot.
show that right there. It's crazy." Yeah, safe travels for all the young ones on buses this morning, as well as my own and kindergartner. Yeah, it's pretty treacherous out there right now. Very, very heavy rainfall, frequent lightning, hail, gusty winds. Good news is I think that severe thunderstorm warning is going to get dropped off. That storm is definitely gusting out. It's definitely weakening right now. So that is some good news. I'm going to go to Mega Doppler real quick so you can see that. There's that severe thunderstorm warning again in northern Adair, Delaware County. Try to move that back just a few frames so we can kind of see when that storm is a little bit more intense. You're going to notice a lot more purples on the map. That was that very large hail. Look at that.
Yeah.
West of Tahlequah was very large hail that was going on there.
65 dBZ.
Yep.
Now it's slowly dying.
Slowly dying out, but still producing heavy rain.
Yeah.
And that's why the flooding potential is there. So
Still goes for another 30 minutes.
yeah, they're moving at
22 minutes.
just a casual 80 miles per hour.
slowing down. They slowed it down even more.
Oh.
65 miles per hour.
Well, then that's a sign that it is weakening
Mhm.
pretty substantially then. Unless it was riding the boundary. But there is no boundary.
Still
Boundary's
some
way
more
south.
rain coming through Fort Smith and Greenwood and then Podo and LaFleur County, eastern Oklahoma, and eventually Waldron. Another little line moving through
It's crazy.
below severe criteria.
It's crazy how much energy we have, man. It really is unbelievable. And one thing I haven't looked at yet, you know what we need to look at? How about water vapor?
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to pull that up on Weather 1 right now. So loading up satellite and radar. Let's look at high resolution water vapor to start. Look at all of that thunderstorm development.
What's going on south of Dallas?
Yeah.
Stuff popping up.
Yeah,
That low swinging in. It's
that could be
probably
trouble.
somewhere between San Angelo and Dallas right now.
Those could be the trouble storms
Mhm.
later today that we'll have to watch. We look here. Let's take an even water view. Oh my
That's
goodness.
a huge trough.
Huge trough. All this energy, and it's just been constant over the
Ski
last
jump.
few days. Yeah. Ski jump jet stream. Yep. And, was doing some analogs. This is basically the same exact trough ejection as the severe weather outbreak that happened in 1997. It is literally the same exact thing. I mean, it's actually unbelievable. So yeah, we'll have to
It
watch
wasn't
that.
like April, early April too.
Yeah, it was like April 21st,
Oh,
1997.
okay,
I can
so
actually,
late April.
yeah.
I was looking at a good amount of analogs the other day. They were all like April 5th, April 7th.
4, 5,
So,
6.
oh, March 1st. So that was the trough ejection.
Yeah.
Now, this after President Trump announced sweeping new tariffs on U.S. imports. Washington correspondent Sean Hudson has more.
Hey, we can talk. There's a lot of
Oh, yeah.
packages today.
A lot.
Picked a good day to do a live stream.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna have a traffic report coming up though in just a minute. So I need to.
How long is this minute? 30.
Yeah.
Let me look here to make sure there's no more accidents.
Mm. So if you're just hopping on, no tornado potential right now. Just some flashy boom booms. You know what James A. says?
Flash boom booms.
Yeah.
I like that.
So good amount of lightning with this. Some very small hail at times. Only a few pockets of hail. Just west of Panama. Then in the St. Paul area. Let us know if you're in St. Paul and maybe getting a little bit of pea-sized hail.
Hey, accident on I-49, guys.
All right. Next on I-49. Love that.
I
know.
can't see that.
we need to get those emails.
No.
All right.
Okay. Northbound. Yes, near mile marker 80.1.
So if you just heard that big backup on I-49.
Okay.
Because of an accident. This is, I believe, northbound. We'll be going to Josh for a traffic update here in just a second.
Rashad, this morning. Now, we are monitoring another accident that's happening out there. So we're going to go ahead and send things over to Josh with a look at your morning commute, the traffic out there. You know, it's a stormy system moving through.
Absolutely. A lot of folks hydroplaning right now in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. The brand new accident we have to talk about is along Interstate 49 in the northbound lane near mile marker 80.9. So this is going to be near that Pleasant Grove Road exit. Look at traffic right now, backed up for a couple of miles right now. So as you're heading northbound towards Rogers, towards that Pinnacle Parkway exit, got to make sure you're taking it nice and easy. Give yourself plenty of extra time, or maybe use an alternate route this morning. US Highway 71 might be your best bet if you're trying to head towards Rogers and Springdale. We do have another accident that's still ongoing along Interstate 540 in the southbound lane. This is going to be near exit 5 in the Arkansas River Bridge. This accident has been impacting travel for the last hour or so. So, folks, imperative that you take it nice and easy on the roadways this morning. Give yourself plenty of extra time to get to work and school. We'll continue to keep you posted on all of these traffic and weather details as we move throughout the rest of the show. We'll have more Fox 24 News at 7 coming up after the break.
And we're back.
Look how many hits we got in the morning.
Yeah, there's so much.
It's crazy. Like, I have to always be drinking water. And things
Yeah.
like this.
It's like, get the kayak ready.
That's where you're going to need a bomb walker.
Yeah. Or half the roads in Fayetteville.
Pretty much. Pretty much. So really right now, guys, what we're dealing with is basically just heavy rain, frequent lightning. There's some small hail here and there. There's some gusty winds here and there. But otherwise, the storms are not too impressive right now, I would say.
No.
And the reason why we're live is just because we expected this to impact travel. We knew there was going to be a few severe thunderstorms. We just wanted to give you guys a heads up. But otherwise, Peyton, and I think you would agree with this, I think mostly what you're going to run into this morning is very wet roadways and dangerous travel conditions.
Yeah, but that's kind of another reason why we're doing the live is because of the dangerous road conditions out there with the heavy rain, and because severe weather buzz talk is in the air, and so we're just letting you know what's going on right now.
Yeah,
and not telling you need to worry, but just to be ready.
Be ready, and also to talk about the storms that are coming up later on this afternoon. That's why I wanted to do it during the show because I'm going in depth on that as well. So Again, the severe weather risk this afternoon. It's a lot of nowcasting.
Yeah.
I know a lot. I see a lot of questions about specific areas, specific towns, and stuff like that. What you need to know is this: if the warm front doesn't lift north of you, you don't have to worry about tornado potential. If it does, you have to be weather aware, be on your A game today, and take those warnings very seriously, because the environment that's going to be in place south of that warm front is going to be
Somebody else slipped out
while
we were on that
live on the camera. That's crazy. So look at that. Peyton was just pointing this out. Northbound lane.
Northbound lane backed up because of an accident,
up
but we're
because of
showing
accident.
we're showing the backup,
Yes.
and yet another car slipped off the road there.
Yep.
So another backup.
It's crazy.
Mm.
Crazy.
See, but whenever I'm in the morning, it could be tornadoes, and there won't be a single accident.
Yeah. Peyton right here has got a good effect. The Peyton
I know.
effect. He keeps people from
It
having
could be
accidents.
torrential downpours.
Good news is with these accidents, folks, is that nobody's injured
Yes,
based on what we're seeing. So
as far as we know.
right now, sometimes as I drive Arkansas reports are not accurate, but they didn't look like they were significant accidents. Okay, we're coming back. So
Over 2,000, that was insane, especially oh, yes. So all of the days are very active. Definitely a lot of concern over flooding. A large portion of our community. River Valley shares that concern during this experience. We spoke with the director of Sebastian County Emergency Management team about what is being done in the River Valley to get prepared for potential flooding. Now, he told us that every situation is, of course, different, but the main thing is to always be aware of surroundings and visual.
Just north.
so it's very close to the camera. I'm on right now too. Yeah. 1 or 2 screen.
Absolutely. We'll continue to inform you both on air and online for additional information on what to do in severe weather. Let's go to our website, News. We want to let you know about some complicated in the River Valley. There could be some flooding here on those common spots along this spring. Townsend and Hughes County, 66 in North 8 of the Highway and North 16 in Houston Avenue. So just a common baby in the River Valley that are known to but we have to pull this and go with that.
Another accident.
Yeah, our weather is going to be at the traffic job. They're not the only ones preparing for this inclement weather. Now, around, don't drown. The water will be quick to rise, but it will also be quick to fall. That is the main message from Franklin County Emergency Management Coordinator Rick Covert to the community. However, says Franklin County has a multi-step plan in place to keep everyone safe. One feature includes sending daily weather outlooks to community, fire, city officials, and others. Franklin County is also using a split water rescue team to be ready at any moment. And in more local news, several events are canceled or rescheduled due to this weather. First Friday in downtown Linville is canceled. Save the date for the next First Friday event. And Children and Family Advocacy Center is canceling its Cherishing Children Monday today. Area games for Special Olympics Arkansas are rescheduled for Monday, April 7th at Rainy Junior High. Okay, ceremony will start at 3:30 a.m. And the Veterans Memorial is postponing its Poker Run event from Saturday, April 5th to May 10th. That is a day for that event. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at traffic right now.
Let's go back to Megadon.
Radar machine broke.
Radar machine is down. You're only getting half of the radar. Oh, look at that. No more rain in Northwest. Wow, it's gone. It's gone. Where did it all go? That's funny. I think it was just maybe just a bad scan.
Yeah.
Which hopefully that doesn't happen this afternoon. We'll need that. All right, guys. So we're about to do another full forecast here. This will be the last full Fox 20 forecast. And I got one more traffic hit.
I'll go back a frame so you don't have that eyesore.
Yeah.
That's
Just
what it
keep
looks
it on
like.
that frame for this full weather too when I show my Doppler.
Yeesh. Oh,
Severe thunderstorm
dude,
warning's been dropped off.
just a half-degree tilt. You go up to 0.8 of a degree, it works.
Dan
all
said
right.
Colby effect. The Colby effect is the reason why that happened. Colby, what did you do? What did you do? What did you? Oh, Chad, are we cooked?
Hey, Josh, you know you have the latest day one.
Oh, really?
And there's still a moderate risk.
Still a moderate. You almost got me on that.
They have decreased the size of the enhanced, maybe, and maybe increased the size of the moderate.
Okay. Wow.
I
Okay.
think. I don't know. It's hard to
Interesting.
tell through a thumbnail on my phone for Twitter.
Well, this should be it. That doesn't look like it's the new one.
Maybe it's the same.
Is it just the same?
Maybe.
They just not change it? I mean, it makes sense. I didn't expect them to go high. I know some folks were talking about that. I'm like,
Yeah.
wow.
No.
There's not enough confidence.
High is extremely, extremely rare. You have to be fairly certain that there will be an outbreak.
Like they only issue that like 3 or 4 times a year.
Yeah.
At most. Sometimes you go a whole year without a high.
And sometimes highs can be bust.
Yeah.
May 20th, 2019.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that one. Thankfully, I wasn't chasing that day. But that was really the start of the Colby effect. Colby
I
effect.
think I was out there. All right.
Full Fox.
Full Fox for the forecast.
Your Weather Authority forecast with Josh Rugger, certified most accurate by Weather Rate.
Showers and storms continue to push to the area, and unfortunately, that's causing some more travel issues. Got another accident to report in the northbound lane of Interstate 49. This is going to be near the Bella Vista intersection, and as you can see, looks like a couple of vehicles were involved there. This is going to be near exit 91. So, folks, you got to make sure you're taking it nice and easy this morning. Got another accident near Pleasant Grove Road right now. That's also impacting travel in the northbound lane. As you can see, traffic slowing down just a little bit. So if you're looking for an alternate route this morning in Northwest Arkansas, US Highway 71 likely going to be your best bet. Here's a look at Heating and Cooling Mega Doppler. We got meteorologist Peyton Langford in here working hard, watching the radar very closely with me. Let's go through a little radar tour here, Peyton. You can see some showers and storms moving through Delaware County right now. This storm was way above severe limits just a few moments ago, was producing some very large hail over central Oklahoma, but now that severe thunderstorm warning has been dropped off. That's a great sign. Looks like a bit of a hole in the activity here in Fayetteville. I know Colby Ward is still in town right now, so maybe a little bit of Colby effect there in Fayetteville. Go a little bit farther south here. Another significant storm moving towards Fort Smith. This is not severe, but this is going to cause some more issues on the roadways, so make sure you're aware of that if you're traveling along Interstate 40 and Interstate 540. But otherwise, these storms are well north of a warm front, so they are expected to have no tornado potential. You can be rest assured of that in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. That storm racing off to the north and east right now around 55 to 60 miles per hour. Some more thunderstorms in the higher train of Northwest Arkansas near Highway 412, near Madison, Newton, and Boone County. A little bit farther to the west, there's those thunderstorms in Delaware County with some scattered showers and storms along I-49 in between Bentonville and Springdale. But we do have a severe thunderstorm watch that remains in effect until 11 a.m. No severe thunderstorm warnings to report at this time. Some more energy kicking in off to our south and west, but maybe a little bit less intense than what we're seeing right now. The reason why these storms are kind of falling apart as they move into northwest Arkansas is because we're north of this warm front. That's allowing those winds to shift off to the east-northeast, and that's keeping that cool air in place. But south of that warm front, a lot of warm and humid air is funneling off to the north and west. This is actually the latest day one convective outlook that was released about 3 to 4 minutes ago from the Storm Prediction Center. Haven't seen a whole lot of changes to this outlook. You can still see a level 4 to 5 enhanced risk of severe weather south and east of this warm front. That does include portions of the River Valley along the I-40 corridor. But as you get a little bit farther north and west, that severe weather risk dramatically drops off. Level 2 to 5 slight risk for most of northwest Arkansas along I-49 between Fayetteville and Bentonville. Folks, if you're south of that warm front today, just off to the east of Fort Smith, you need to stay weather aware between 2 to 9 p.m. because a few intense, strong tornadoes will be possible as we move throughout the late afternoon and early evening hours. A very sharp cutoff there, but the farther south it needs to go, the more likely that tornado potential will be realized. We also have large hailstones over 2 inches in diameter possible, along with damaging wind gusts up to 70 miles per hour. That has expanded into northwest Arkansas, which I did expect with the latest updates. So again, 2 rounds of showers and storms possible. The first round ongoing across northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. Most of the models showing that activity moving out by about 12 to 1 p.m. Look at this break in the activity, though. That's allowing that warm front to lift off to the north and east. Temperatures in the upper 60s, middle 70s in the River Valley. Any one of these storms between 4 to 9 p.m. could be rotating there. This model has been showing a pretty persistent supercell in portions of LaFleur, Scott, and Logan County, so we'll watch that very closely. Northwest Arkansas still going to see heavy rain, but I think that tornado threat will be much lower since those areas will be north of the warm front. Most of those showers and storms will be out by 9 to 10 p.m., but more heavy rainfall possible as we move throughout your Saturday morning into the afternoon. I wanted to show this real quick before we wrap this up. Flood watch in effect for the entire coverage area until 7 a.m. Sunday, and catastrophic flash flooding potential in portions of the River Valley. A very rare level 4 out of 4 high risk of excessive rainfall in those locations with widespread flash flooding potential for the rest of northwest Arkansas. So it is imperative that you stay weather aware no matter where you are in northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. 100% chance of showers and storms today in northwest Arkansas. High temperatures in the middle to upper 60s. We'll see that drop off on Saturday into the lower 50s with maybe a little bit of a rain-snow mixture possible early Sunday morning. Not expecting any impacts at this time. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday looking dry with highs in the low to middle 60s. River Valley, widespread severe weather potential in the cards today. Highs going to be in the lower to middle 70s. Lower 60s on Saturday with temperatures in the upper 60s or right around 70 degrees and mostly sunny skies for the early part of next week. So we'll keep watching these showers and storms very, very closely. But we have one of my favorite dudes in studio this morning, Jason Sewell in the house. I'm going to send things over to you guys.
Absolutely. We know that there's a lot of weather happening in your world, but of course, we're having a fantastic Friday. Jason Sewell with us to preview this weekend's episode of Later with Jason Sewell. So take it away.
Thanks, Ashton. Yeah, absolutely. We want people to be weather aware, obviously, out there. But if you do find yourself home on Saturday night, we had a great episode lined up for you. We're talking sports with sportscaster, podcaster John Neighbors joining us on the program, talking about the wrap-up of basketball season and looking forward to baseball, looking even future casting to football season. So great to chat with John down there at our desk. And then musical guest is going to be...
All right, future truck again.
Yeah, let's show future truck again. I know we had to go by pretty quickly. Remember, we have a limited amount of time on there to show that flooding potential. So here's a look at future track again. The first round of storms is moving through as we speak. These are not really going to produce a whole lot of severe weather potential, but they are going to produce heavy rainfall. I think most of those move out by 11 a.m., 12 p.m. This model showing a break in the activity for a little bit, but look at the instability returning to the River Valley. Look at those temperatures. Lower to middle 70s, south of the I-40 corridor. And that's where that tornado potential is going to be increased as we move throughout the day. But notice northwest Arkansas, those temperatures still in the 50s and 60s. That warm front not quite
10 degrees warmer in the River Valley.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that makes a big difference, though, because that's where all the surface-based instability is increasing. So now look at this.
Point out where that warm front is.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah.
Right there. You see what basically wherever the gradient between 60s and 70s is.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the warm front. It's pretty easy.
Scott, Logan, Johnson.
Hey, this supercell right here needs to be watched because
Eastern Franklin.
The HRRR consistently has shown a supercell.
Even by Russellville.
Yeah.
Any isolated cell out of Fed here will start spinning.
These prefrontals, man. That's what concerns me the most. And these storms right here are riding that boundary. That's why it's showing the supercell in Scott County. It has consistently shown that. So 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. is really the main time frame for these significant severe storms. And then that should be out. But look at this. Oh my goodness. Saturday morning.
You have fun at the Bentonville
swim trunks. Marathon? Yeah, swim trunks, which is a great half marathon. Usually that's a half marathon where you get your PR.
Yeah.
Yeah, not gonna be the case this year.
Gonna be about 5 pounds heavier.
Gonna be about
All the
5
rain.
pounds heavier. Now I gotta do one more traffic report,
Mm.
and then we're done with the shows. No traffic. We're just going to
Straight to copyright.
straight to copy. Okay, there you go.
Well, ball game.
Ball game. So if you guys are watching, there is the accident near Pleasant Grove has been cleared. We'll pull that up on
Yeah.
Weather One. So yeah, the accident's been cleared on Pleasant Grove, but there still is an accident in the northbound lane near exit 91 in Bella Vista. I take this stretch of the interstate every day, and I know it can be dangerous. Very prone to flooding, very prone to hydroplaning. So looks like somebody got caught by that there. Hopefully they're okay. But the other accident near Pleasant Grove has been cleared.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, it doesn't show up on iDrive Arkansas.
Yeah. There's probably still a little bit of residual backup.
Yeah, let's look.
Copyright just played.
Let's look at that.
We are done though.
We're done. Yeah, a bit of a residual backup, as Peyton just mentioned. We can pull that up there. But otherwise, it has been cleared.
It has been cleared.
U.S. Highway 71 is a good alternate route, though, if you're looking for anywhere to go. If there's ever accidents that are reported, use U.S. Highway 71. It's a good backup. All right.
Those lights, though. If you get bad luck and you hit all the red lights, that
You are in trouble.
stinks.
You guys just got to see an hour and a half of the newscast.
Oh yeah, then we started at 6:30.
It started at 6:30. Pretty busy.
Yeah.
And it's nonstop. That's for sure. So are we keeping alert in Prairie Grove, or are we okay? So I understand some folks may be worried a little bit. Let's go back to Mega Doppler here. Peyton, again, heavy rain. That's going to be likely throughout the rest of the morning, really throughout the day today. Flash flooding is a big time concern. Big time concern for every single location.
Dude, it's still doing this.
Why is it still doing that?
Still on the half-degree tilt.
I know. What is going on? Something's going on with the
apparently
radar.
something's not wrong with the radar.
Oh.
Someone from Tulsa said so.
So they can have that time back. Yeah, they can have that time back. Yes. Yeah, Dan says it. This is what Dan told me. He says the Colby effect, Peyton. This is the Colby effect. I'm telling you, this man. There's nothing going on technical wise.
Dude,
it's just Colby.
You've got to be kidding me. Look at that.
Look, it's a big old hole right over Colby's house. It's unbelievable. It's uncanny. Uncanny. But again, if you're watching this right now, we've been stressing this over the last 1 hour and 40 minutes. There is no tornado potential this morning.
No.
Anywhere. These storms at most are going to produce, maybe some large hail. We've seen that. Gusty winds, heavy rainfall, frequent lightning. We've seen a lot of that this morning.
Yeah.
But in terms of tornado potential, that is not going to happen. I would not be concerned about that. If you're still at the house right now, you're not heading out and about, you're in great shape.
Yeah.
Stay home, put some chili on or something like that, watch some movies, you're good. Now, this afternoon, the River Valley, especially, you need to be weather aware.
Dude,
It's
it
the
might
time.
almost take the exact shape of the radar.
Yeah, I know.
It's quite that far.
The rain.
The warm front will
access to the
likely
rain.
be somewhere along these lines.
Yes. So this is my forecasted warm front position.
Whoops.
Whoa.
I hit the weather one full with Cam the exact same time.
Are we still
You pull
live?
it up. Yeah. Go over there.
Oh, wait, what?
Right there.
Wait, what in the world?
Yeah.
That was weird. We had
hit
something going
I
behind
hit
the scene.
weather one with Cam the exact same
Oh,
moment.
that's what happened. I was like, what? What just happened? But this is my forecasted position of the warm front. And I'm basically just using the SPC risk. Yes, I'm kind of cheating. But I think this is actually pretty on point.
Could be.
Honestly. Just based on what the models are showing this morning, especially
Yeah.
the HRRR has been remarkably consistent with
Mhm.
that warm front position this morning. It was kind of going back and forth yesterday. I think this is pretty good shape. Again, south of that warm front, that's where that higher end severe weather potential is. So the farther south it needs to go, the
Yeah.
higher that severe weather potential will be today. Level 4 to 5, moderate risk. But look at the gradient. Look how quickly that drops off. Very tiny enhanced risk, and then the level 2 to 5 slight risk, which is mainly just a hail and wind threat at that point.
Right, because that's why they have moderate is for the tornado threat.
It is tornado driven.
Yeah.
The slight risk is hail driven.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. There's like no tornado potential according to the National Weather Service in Benton County, which makes sense because there's not going to be any tornado potential. If the warm front doesn't make it there, then
You won't have
You're
those surface-based storms. You'll have elevated thunderstorms, which
Mhm.
will have healthy updrafts and will produce the large hail.
Yeah, could be pretty large hail too.
Yeah.
But again, once they get away from that warm front and they don't have any instability to work with, they can't really maintain their strength very long. That's what we're seeing this morning. I mean, that one storm, just for example, that's near Jay, that
See if I
thing's
can go back to the
done.
house.
That
Yeah,
thing
I
is
can.
done. Look how strong that storm was though earlier this morning. I mean, that was producing nearly 2-inch hail in some spots based on radar estimates. Now, probably wasn't
I mean,
actually.
it got
doing
up to 70 dBz.
Yeah. So, that's good. I mean, look at that. Very large hail
That's
cores.
1.4 inches.
Yes. But keep that going into motion and look how the storm just weakens. I mean, it just dunzos.
Done.
And now it's nothing. Now it's just a heavy rain shower with lightning.
Yep.
And that's it. So, Northwest Arkansas, I think, is going to be fine this afternoon. Now, we're not going to let our guard down. I was talking about that this morning with the anchors. I said, 95% of the time that warm front doesn't make it.
Yeah.
Doesn't even get close. But there's 5% of the time where it does.
Nothing ever happens until it does.
Until it does. Exactly. So we're not going to let our guard down, especially if, I could see a scenario where it does make it somewhat north of the Bobby Hopper Tunnel if we don't get a whole lot of storm activity this, midday, or if the cloud cover decreases. But with all the rain that's going to be in place, it's going to be a struggle. It's going to be a struggle.
Pouring rain in Prairie Grove.
Tulsa is having telecommunication problems. Also, the NOAA weather radio isn't working. Man, that needs to be fixed.
Yeah.
In a hurry. That cannot happen this afternoon whatsoever.
Nope. That's the last thing we need.
That is the last thing we need. Oh, man. Zachary Russell asking the important questions. Arkansas baseball game tonight.
Ain't no way.
Ain't no way. No shot. I mean, look, I bet they're just waiting to the last second to see kind of what goes down and stuff.
Get
like
everyone
that.
out there.
But I'm telling you, I don't know how. I don't know why you would even risk it. Tomorrow there will be rain in the afternoon, I think.
Yeah.
But
They're playing. They moved it to 6.
Yeah.
They were originally scheduled for 2, and then they moved it to 6.
They moved it to 6, I think.
Yeah.
I think you're right. But here's the deal: tomorrow, I don't think there will be any lightning. So it might be raining in the afternoon, but I don't think there will be as much lightning because that instability, even the mixed layer cake is going to be off to the east. So I don't know about today. I don't think they should have today. I think they could probably get a game in
They
tomorrow.
might could do a double tomorrow. So
I think they should just do it Sunday. You're gonna do a double header.
Yeah.
But then you have the curfew situation. But I think they can still get.
That's all happened there.
I told Courtney Mims this yesterday, and sorry if you're a Missouri fan, but I know there's not a lot of Missouri baseball fans. I said Arkansas should just not. They should just not even play Missouri. They should just say go home because you know what's going to happen, right? If Arkansas plays these games, even if they win, their RPI is going to go down. They're going to be hurt by playing the games. So I'm saying, okay, Missouri, go back home.
Yeah.
Come on. We don't want to play you. You guys are UAPB level or whatever and stuff like that. We're not playing.
Well, if you were to say UALR level, I'd be like,
UALR
buckle up.
Well, yeah, they destroy us every year. UAPB almost beat Missouri in a midweek.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
It is pouring down over I-49 right now.
You want to see some cameras? Let's just do a little camera tour. So there's Alma. Yeah, you do it. You use Stream Deck. Peyton's gonna do it. Yeah, here we go. There's Bella Vista.
Bella Vista. Dude,
look at the visibility.
Some very heavy rain.
Look at the visibility. It's very low right now, which is why.
Oh, it's because you clicked on something.
Oh,
it changes over here.
Yeah, I'm not gonna touch
it.
So visibility very low. Hey, we're back.
Yeah.
Look at the parking lot right now as folks try to get the kids to school.
line.
Yeah, I got a little line of cars there.
Bentonville Square. They need to replace that windsock.
They do. That thing is barely holding on right now.
Got torn to shreds. It's like some of my socks.
Yeah, that's like my socks when I got Harper when she was a puppy.
Oh, it's tore up her socks.
She tore up those socks, man.
Boonville Elementary. A little bit further south.
That was a lightning show this morning.
Oh,
I did record that,
sick.
by the way.
Good.
I did record that.
Decatur City Hall. Seeing a little bit more sunshine here and there. Doesn't look too bad. Dirty camera, the graduate. Looks a little bit more intense than it probably really is.
Needs a
Oh,
quick
yeah.
clean. There you go.
It's
Kessler
really
Mountain.
coming down Kessler Mountain.
Yep.
There's Mount Sequoia.
Look how quickly those clouds are moving, though.
Man, pretty low.
Pretty low. A lot of low-level moisture.
Yep. This
Uh,
Laura's.
Love
Coming down
that.
there.
Love that.
Mm-hmm.
Public library. Hey, it's about to start storming pretty. It's about to get a little loud in Fort Smith.
Yeah.
More storms moving in right now.
Posey Mountain. Can hardly see the lake.
My goodness, that is very low.
Harrison socked in.
Yep.
Huntsville. Be cloudy.
Hey.
Oh, Lincoln's down. What happened?
But you can see us though. Oh.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah. Mount
Yeah,
Magazine.
Mount Magazine socked in, as well as Cartwright, because these cameras are 100 plus feet in the air.
Hey, you can see us again.
P Ridge is down. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Ah,
Look how high base that is.
yeah. A lot more elevated.
Another storm moving into Rogers. So that lady, that lady who was asking about getting out in the car,
Mhm.
might be the time to do it right now because here comes another storm.
Yeah.
It's coming.
Arkansas Children's. And then finally Waldron, as far as the cameras that are up.
Sir. I told you something up. It's coming down in Prairie Grove, yeah? Yeah, you're on the far northern fringes of the storm right now. Miranda.
Also might be just a little off.
Little-
To the scans.
yeah, the scans
versus
are pretty
where
trash.
where it actually is.
Here's the deal.
Here's the deal.
Regardless, right, this is not anything significant in terms of severe weather.
Nope.
It's significant in terms of your travel.
No, just rain boots and rain jacket.
Rain,
brother.
yeah, rain boots, rain jacket. Do not get the umbrella because there's lightning. Yeah, that would be a bad idea. But I mean, there's nothing here that is severe.
Yeah.
And if it's because look at the temperatures. I mean, let's go to the temperatures again. It's been a little while since I showed the temperatures.
Pretty cool.
It's cold,
Yeah.
dude. It's straight up
Upper 40s.
cold. I mean, like if I go to Weather One, look at this. It's 48 degrees in Bentonville and Rogers. Sheesh. That's chilly. That's a cold rain right
Yeah.
now. 52 in Fayetteville, so it's a little bit warmer. River Valley, of course, is a little bit warmer too. 55 in Fort Smith, Poto, 54 South Boonville. But you know, the deeper moisture is way off to the south. Oh yeah, we're good. Thank you, Sam. Thank you.
Someone else is asking about baseball games, I think, or maybe some. type
Oh
of game.
yeah, I know who it
April
is.
5th, Carlos
Yeah,
Herrera.
yeah. Back to question about Saturday, April 5th. Ours games at Veteran Park still going to happen tomorrow?
Nope.
No.
I was supposed to have a game tomorrow.
Wait,
Canceled.
you play?
Nope. Calling the balls and strikes.
Oh, you're an umpire. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
How do you enjoy that?
Oh man, I love it.
Do you get people that scream at you?
Hmm?
Is it fun?
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
It's for the love of the game.
For the love of the game. It's
Yeah.
part of the game. That's funny. What's your best story that you've got?
Ah, maybe we don't need to go into detail about that. Probably
Maybe-
not appropriate.
Maybe we'll just, kind of just say, if you know, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
Yeah.
get the idea.
I'll tell you offline.
We'll tell you offline. Exactly.
Good
We'll tell
story.
you off the cup.
Yeah,
They
so-
should add that feature to
Yeah.
MLB The Show. Make it more realistic.
I know, being an umpire.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Rah! Yeah, you know.
No,
get
but
the
I
whole-
was supposed to be at Bentonville. It
Yeah.
was Bentonville versus Little Rock.
Oh, wow.
A school out of Little
Pretty
Rock.
big,
Yeah.
pretty big game right there.
Mhm.
So you're like high school
Yeah.
level, like 7A. That's like 7A baseball.
Good stuff.
Dang.
I've done JUCO and some non-con like South.
Yeah. I was gonna say, if they added that to MLB The Show, like a realistic umpiring experience, it'd be instead of rated E, 10 and up, rated M. Like that,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Into arguments.
There's something. Yeah, look,
Coach is kicking dirt on you.
kicking dirt and saying some things.
Go on,
Josh, how are the Hogs going to get in 3 games this weekend, my brother? Thanks and God bless your day. Appreciate you guys. Cole, I think the best way, we kind of talked about it just a few moments ago, maybe 1 game tomorrow and 2 games Sunday. That'd probably be the best way to get it done. If they could get a doubleheader tomorrow, then maybe they wouldn't have to worry
Probably
about
a
the
better
curfew.
idea to do it Sunday.
Yeah, but it's gonna be cold Sunday, so you
Yeah.
better bundle up. You best have a jacket on, otherwise it's gonna be a bad time. Is there going to be a break in the storms at all today? This is a good question.
They're breaking some areas right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's like on and off. Now look at this. That's pretty Pretty substantial clearing. I'm not gonna
And-
lie.
And over Waldron and most of the southeast portion of the river valley, the area that's under the gun for severe weather later on today
This
are
is
not seeing any rain.
this is a concerning trend right now.
Yeah, with no rain
There
going
is
on right now.
nothing in those areas.
So
This
if
is a
there's no
warm
rain.
sector.
You have no rain cooled air. You have no rain cooled air, so that way you can get some more heating at the surface. And once that warm front moves north, warms up even more at the surface, that rapid destabilization, you can get tornadic supercells.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what's concerning me because I thought there would be a little bit more storm activity in the warm sector, honestly.
I mean, there was earlier this morning,
But
like a little bit, right?
Yeah, just a little bit, but like
Yeah.
it's been in and out. I mean, this
Been
is
more aggressive along and north of I-40.
You know what concerns me too, and here's the deal. So they're not getting any storms, number one, right now in the warm sector. And there will likely be some cloud cover that sticks around.
Yeah.
And what happens is that when you have that kind of filtered cloud cover that moves through, you don't have overmixing that happens. Because if you have a bunch of sunshine and stuff like that, then sometimes you get, too much dry air,
Right.
or you get overmixing concerns and stuff like that. It's a delicate balance.
Mhm.
That's what happened in Northeast Arkansas a couple days ago. They didn't have really like abundant sunshine. It was like filtered sunshine
Yeah.
with those high clouds. And that was like the perfect recipe for these storms to tap into the environment. Hopefully there's
Insane ingredients out there.
Yeah.
Parameters are a lot different
Yeah.
than here. Oh, goodbye. Dude, that's
It's
so weird.
unbelievable, man. Like look at these technical difficulties. It's crazy.
I'll just go up in tilts.
Yeah, that's gonna be the hack.
Oh, dude. Point A dropped out.
Point A dropped out too. So now we have to go all the way up to 1.3.
Huh.
That's trash.
Because you go higher up in tilts, you get less and less.
Yeah, the Bradley makes a good
Range.
point. Heating up the surface will also erode away the sin.
Yep. That's the only way you can get rid of there's two ways you can get rid of the cap or the sin.
Mhm.
You warm the surface or cool the upper levels.
You know what? Let's look at the model run for the sin. Since Dan made that.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go ahead and look at that. So is next gen affected? That's a good question. Probably. Well, hold on.
That is a great question.
The warnings are still getting issued though.
Yeah.
So if the warnings are still getting issued, you should still be fine.
You
It's-
should still
yeah.
get it.
Yeah, because it's a weather
Um,
radio thing. That's a good question though.
That is a great question.
When is the tennis ball size hail expected?
Dan, if you're watching, hopefully you can answer that question.
Yeah.
Maybe talk to Megan or Bruce
Yeah, we do need to have that answer.
from Weather Call. It's
We
a
do
great
need to have
question.
that answered. So the hail potential is isolated, I would say, because of storm mode, but it would be during the afternoon.
Yeah.
It'd be with any of those storms that get going south of the I-40 corridor. Are we still good north of the I-40 corridor? I mean, so it depends on where you are. Like if you're like north of the I-40 corridor, let's say Cass,
Mhm.
you need to be weather alert.
Yeah.
Or Yale or Ozone or Harmony, those areas in like Logan and Johnson County. If you're like north of the I-40 corridor in Prairie Grove, you're probably going to be fine.
Right.
So it kind of depends because remember the way the trough or not the trough, the low pressure, the front is going to be shaped. Yeah, third time's a charm. Is kind of like southwest to northeast.
Right.
So it's going to be, basically the farther south and east you go, the higher in that severe the potential is going to be. Let's see here. So let's look at the SIN model run. I think Dan recently edited it, so I should be able to see it off the top here.
There it is.
Up there it is.
All
yeah.
right. Well, there's a lot of them actually.
Let's do the HRRR.
Wait, there's an extended on the far right.
Well, let's do
let's
that.
do it right now.
Let's do this one right now because
That should go up far enough.
we should go out far enough, yeah, because it updates every hour. So, that's not good.
No, so this is great at showing kind of where that frontal
Holy
boundary
cow.
might be, and it shows you where that lid is taken off, so to speak.
Look how far north that front is now.
Yeah. You know what? Might as well enter that and go in. Let's get a closer view.
Yeah, let's enter that in. I want to take a look at that. Yesterday, when Dan was on the live stream with Zach, there was a stout cap in place. Like
yeah.
they were looking at the models,
Mhm.
like the HRRR was
And that's
showing.
pretty stout at 3 o'clock
Yeah,
over, right along I-49.
yeah, but like south of there, like it was showing a cap south of there too, like in Scott County.
Severe thunderstorm
County.
watch got canceled.
Makes sense. These storms are pretty much done.
Weak
So,
sauce.
yeah, let's go ahead and move this along time. I'm going to get to like 3. And we're going to zoom in here. That is concerning, Peyton.
Yeah, and it moves that far north.
It's a bit of a northern trend. Again,
That's kind of what we've been saying almost the whole time.
yeah,
Northwest Arkansas might be all right, but right around Fort Smith and east, and then along I-40 will be under the gun.
yeah.
And then, of course, it breaks out the storm, so you get that rain, cool air, and then you get that cap. But the initial cap is there really isn't a cap.
No. You'll have to be weather aware, folks, in the River Valley. You need to take this very, very seriously this afternoon into the evening. I am concerned about these storms.
Yeah.
Especially, if we're looking at this here, this is what I was talking about earlier, because somebody was asking, hey, what area of I-49 or like what area north of I-40? You see here in Fort Smith, like that's where the boundary is, right? But like east of there, like St. Paul, St. Paul could get in on the action too.
Yeah.
If that warm front does like nudge north like that. Clarksville, Mountainburg, these areas here, we'll have to watch that. But what we're looking at here is the SEN, or the cap, or the lid on the atmosphere. And you can basically see where that warm front is with this particular model, or with this particular parameter space. And remember, the cap, if you see these darker blues, that's a very strong cap. It's a very stout cap. So thunderstorms are less likely to, break the cap or become surface-based. Whereas south of there, where the cap is weak, you can see south of this front, the cap is very weak. So these storms are very likely to become surface-based very, very quickly. You know what else we need to look at? Let's look at the significant tornado parameter space.
Yes, let's see how that has changed.
Yeah. I bet it's nudged farther north now. Sometimes stronger surface winds can cause surges in certain areas of advancing front. Surface winds are not going to be too strong though today. That may actually also help us out a little bit. Any little bit helps to limit severe weather potential. I've actually been on several severe weather events where like every parameter space was there, and then the surface winds were lacking, and we had no tornadoes. Like it would produce funnels, but like they would never.
Yeah, great structure.
Yeah, but they would never produce tornadoes because the surface winds were lacking. You think on a severe weather day, like surface wind should be a slam dunk.
Right.
Like there should always be strong surface winds, but there wasn't, and we didn't see anything. So look at that. That's an uptrend, Peyton.
Yeah.
So this is a significant tornado parameter space. So obviously it's very low right now across the entire area, but watch how it kind of advances north throughout the day. Rapid destabilization. This is what we're talking about. Look how rapid that is in the River Valley. Areas east of the I-49 corridor. And so you can see here that tornado potential is starting to increase very rapidly across portions of northwest Arkansas near Madison and Newton County, according to this model. Then areas south and east towards Franklin, Logan, Johnson, Scott, LaFleur counties.
It is a little bit stronger once you go a little bit further east over towards like Russellville, Danville, and over towards Laurelton. But it really jumps up.
Whoa.
Oh, that's really close. That's like right over Danville.
Whoa. This is what I was talking about when I said if I'm like a storm chaser and I'm confident in my chasing abilities, because it's going to be a challenging day to chase in these areas, I'd be going towards Little Rock and Arkadelphia, Russellville area, that kind of triangle.
It is flat right in Belleville and Danville.
Yeah, you might
be
able
able to go
there.
there, but that is the only place you'll be able to be.
Ouachita Mountains, man. Very dangerous.
Very dangerous.
Hey, you know what? And you actually made a good message yesterday, Peyton, in the group chat. And I'm just going to share what you said. But you're talking about praying. Yeah, let's. If you pray, if you believe in the power of prayer, which we all do here, make sure you're praying for people. We want this to bust. We want this to do nothing, because the parameter spaces that are in place are high end south of that warm front. Very high end parameter space. There is some fail modes there. We hope that the storms are messy. We hope that the cap holds in certain areas and stuff like that. But this is a very high end environment.
And these folks need your prayers, especially in Northeast Arkansas, because they're under the gun too.
Yeah.
Same areas that were impacted by tornadoes are in that position again today.
East
It's-
Central Arkansas too.
Golly, it's just they cannot catch a break.
No.
I will say this, and I always mention this guy on here. I mentioned him over the last few live streams. Ryan Bond, folks, one of the best in the business. That guy right there has been dealing with a lot in Northeast Arkansas, Region 8. Pray for him as well because he's going to have more storms likely to cover this afternoon. Yeah. Newton County, Arkansas, close to hasty low water bridges, but I have not seen my boy to school yet. Using kindergarten. I don't want to go if there's going to be storms all day or a chance of tornadoes. Yeah, I think they should still be able to go to school
Yeah.
today. I think Julia should be fine to go to school. Here's the deal. Again, the farther north and west you are, the less likely there will be severe weather potential. And I will say this: when you're heading back home from work and school, I think at 4 p.m. there probably wouldn't be a whole lot of storms in Newton County yet.
Yeah,
4
I mean,
o'clock.
and to talk about the low water bridge, you know that a little bit better than us.
Yeah, that's true.
On how that may flood.
Yeah. So if
You're
you're
take that judgment.
if you're prone to flooding in your
Yeah.
area, I mean, better safe than sorry.
Right.
But if it's one of those things that you have to have a ton of rain, I don't think there's going to be at that point a ton of rain yet at 3-4 p.m. when you're heading back home from school. But the tornado potential in Newton County is borderline.
I think
It's right on the
I think it'll
edge.
be good to go to school.
Yeah, it's right on the edge. And here's the thing too: a lot of the times going to school is a safer option because a lot of these schools will have tornado shelters. Like very stout ones that can withstand 200-mile-per-hour winds. They'll have a good plan in place and stuff like that.
I got another something that we should show: the shear tracks, the forecasted tornado tracks.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Updraft helicity.
Yep.
Now remember, one thing I want to mention about updraft helicity, because you might see some tracks in Northwest Arkansas. Remember that updraft helicity tracks are just showing rotation.
Yep.
There could be elevated rotation in Northwest Arkansas for sure, but that does
Yeah.
not mean that it's producing a tornado. So I'm going to say that right off the bat. But I like the way you think, Peyton. And so we're going to show it. So look at that. It's already showing up right there.
That's right now.
That's trash. That's not truly tornadic. Now, so we move into the afternoon, these storms start to develop. That updraft helicity track that's near Fort Smith, that is legit. That is legit.
That is legit.
That is riding the boundary. And I'm telling you, this model, the HRRR, has been consistently showing a supercell right in that boundary around that area. Now, it has trended a little bit farther north with that. Originally, it was more towards LaFleur, Scott, Logan County. Now it's more towards Sebastian and Crawford County.
So that just shows you a kind of area that we will need to watch closely.
That's riding the boundary, dude.
Yeah.
That's what it's doing. It's riding that boundary.
And
Look at
there's
that.
More.
More updraft helicity tracks.
And then things really explode once you get a little bit further east when that cap is completely broken.
Yep. And so, it just continues to go to the east. So don't be scared, Brendan.
prepared.
Don't be scared, Julie. Just be prepared. We'll be here all day watching this very closely. Dan's going to be here. We're going to see the trends and stuff like that. For right now, right, we're not dealing with anything, right? And the warm front is way to the south. I'll say that. The warm front is way south right now. So it's got a lot of ground to make up. So we're going to be watching the surface observations very closely. If that warm front starts trending farther north, we'll be here and we'll let you know. That way you're prepared. Because if the warm front does lift to the north, now you're prepared. Now we've told you what's going on, what the latest trends are and stuff like that.
But it will happen pretty fast.
Yes. So it's just one of those days where you need to stay weather aware, have multiple ways to receive warnings. Thankfully, it's coming through during the daytime. So if there are storms, we're going to have a visual on them.
Yeah.
I'll
Helps
be out.
a lot.
I'll be out there storm tracking. So very dangerous storm tracking, but I'll be out there. I've got good experience and stuff like that, so I know this area pretty well. I will say, living in Northwest Arkansas and having storm chase in this area for 4 or 5, 6 years has actually helped me because now I know oh man, this is a dangerous area. So
hey, my first time about nearly 0 meter to EF2.
Whoa, yeah. And the overpass.
Yeah.
On
Yeah.
the very, very, very edge of it.
That was a scary situation.
If I was any further south,
Yeah,
I
I
would have
was
been
toast.
thrown.
I was scared for you. I was
was
like,
like-
dude, I was like, Peyton, please be okay.
Dude, it was the obvious like tornado sound like a herd of 18-wheelers driving over you,
Yeah.
like a train going on the tracks.
Yeah. But like we said though,
Yeah.
you know,
We'll be on it. We'll
We'll
be
be on.
all over these storms. Josh will only be able to be on one at a time because that's just
there might be multiple cells that are rotating.
yeah.
I mean, and one thing that, if you are storm tracking today, if you are going to track these storms, not going to gatekeep, stuff like that. Like, I'm not going to say, yeah, you don't go out there, but I'm telling you, Western Arkansas sucks to chase.
And it's tough, dude.
It sucks. It's trash.
Why do you think no one chases here like ever?
Yeah.
Think about all the big names you might know of. I'm not gonna give
Reed's
him a
gonna be
shout out. All right, there you go.
Hey, Reed's been interviewed here, so I'll say that.
Yeah.
I'll say Reed, and I like Reed. And but he's got an armored vehicle.
I
dude.
know.
Again, I'm not going to gatekeep in anything, but if you are a storm chaser and you're watching the stream right now, and you've never been here in the Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, I'm just telling you, it is dangerous. You will have areas that will have a ton of trees everywhere, the Ouachita Mountains especially. You will have very little cell service and stuff like that in some of these areas. The road networks are going to be garbage, and very mountainous terrain. It is a very tough area to chase. So if you are going to be out here, give these storms space. I know a lot of them may be HP supercells, and a lot of you may be tempted to go into these rain shafts or in these bear cages and see things, but I would not do it. I would not do it.
Not a good idea.
Yeah, it's not a good idea.
Little Rock is a better idea.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, if you're like in central Arkansas around like those population centers, there are some areas that you can get good views in.
But I wouldn't go that far out because it'll start getting a little hilly.
Yeah, it does get
pretty
hilly.
fast, and the road network gets significantly worse.
Really, you only have one chance to see the storms most of the time. You have to get into position somewhere. I usually get into position along I-40, like around Ozark or Clarksville.
Yeah.
And I let the storms come to me. If it does something on top of me, great. Like I got to see it. If it doesn't, then you got to let it go. Because you get north of Clarksville, you're not going to catch it.
Yeah.
You're not
But honestly, I would only hang out around Pulaski or Saline County.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or you may go to Conway and Morrilton, but as soon as you get out of those big towns, cities, roads get bad fast.
Get a Baja Blast before you go out. Conway, they have pretty good Taco Bell there in that area. What about the tornado track on screen? That is going through northern Washington and South Benton County. Well, this is what I was just talking about earlier, though, Peter.
Yeah.
That's not a true helicity track, right? That's not a true tornado track. It may be rotating like an elevated rotation, but because the warm front is south of that, that's not a tornado track.
No.
That's just a storm
Just a mesocyclone.
It's got a strong updraft.
Yeah.
It's got a very strong updraft. That's what it's basically depicting. Now, this updraft helicity track that's in Fort Smith that you're seeing, that is a true rotating thunderstorm. That is one that is actually producing tornado potential. And it is a long track supercell too. My goodness. So again, but these are not perfect either. This just kind of gives you a general idea of the environment and stuff like that. The storm could pop up anywhere. It's not set in stone at all. But it's important to stay weather aware. And it's important for the technical difficulties to stop on these radars because we're going to need.
We do have 0.8 back.
This is not good, man. I hope they get this figured out quick because people will need to get the warnings. And
I guess that's what it is, but like the actual radar is fine.
Yeah, the actual radar, it's not like it's like damaged.
SRX is fine. It's transmitting fine.
Yeah.
However, somewhere between there and here, something gets lost.
Look at all that rain that's coming into Fort Smith right now. Let's look at the public library camera. Yeesh. Ton of rainfall. Yeah, I like what Joel says. You can't base the weather off that ground. Like they said, it's just showing the lift and updraft around that time. Exactly. It just gives you an idea of the environment that's in place.
Yeah, you stack all these parameters. We give a little bit of an idea on areas we need to watch extra close.
Yep.
That and based on what we know meteorologically, where the front will be in the actual stuff that's going on the surface.
Exactly.
They can give you that idea. So that's mainly what we're looking at this for, to pinpoint ahead of time what are some areas that we need to watch extra close.
Exactly. They're not 100% accurate.
Yeah.
They're just giving you a general pattern, general guidance, and stuff like that. I'll say this. Honestly, at this point, Peyton, I mean, we'll keep an eye on some of the model trends and stuff like that. The models have trended up in terms of where that warm front's positioned. But really, at this point, the models are not really something we need to be looking at anymore. We really need to be looking at surface
observation.
Surface obs, because
Yep.
that's going to tell us where the warm front is, where it's going.
Satellite.
Yep. I will say this though. It's a little bit more clear than I thought it was going to be.
I'm gonna
on
look at
Mega
satellite.
Doppler.
We'll pull satellite up.
Yeah, you pull that up. I'm just going to take you through this radar real quick. First of all, very heavy rain starting to move into portions of the river valley, so it's going to get noisy again. Might move into portions of Washington County as well. This is going to cause some heavy rain potential, but again, no tornado threat this morning. No tornado threat. If you're just joining in, no tornado threat with these storms. Hail, gusty winds, frequent lightning, heavy rain, those are going to be the concerns with these storms right now. So I can't stress that enough. There is some additional shower activity that's trying to develop in central Oklahoma. And quite frankly, Peyton, I want that to continue to develop because if this is not widespread, that warm front is going to lift farther north.
I think a lot of it is just the sinking motion behind the big cluster of storms. So
Let's-
that's a little bit of clearing.
I'm going to pull up weather 2 here, what Peyton's looking at. So this is weather 2. This is what Peyton's looking at.
This is
So
where
Peyton,
we're looking.
Yeah.
There's the storms over us. Here's Arkansas. Hopefully you can see the state border pretty well.
Mhm.
But here's all the cluster of storms going on right now. Behind that is all the sinking motion. We see a little bit of clearing, and then just off to the west is that growing cluster of showers and
Yeah.
storms near Ada, Oklahoma. But there is a good amount of clearing just to the southern part of the state.
It's filtered.
Yeah, a little bit of filtered sunshine here and there. That's why they're a little bit more under the gun. We have a lot of cirrus shading to our north. But this area,
What a system.
not getting a lot of rain or cloud cover. It'll get some anvil shading here in a little bit.
What a system.
Yeah,
That is incredible
go on a little bit bigger view here.
satellite imagery there. Look at that. Look at those storms moving through northwest Arkansas there. Those cloud tops. Bit of an overshooting top situation. Which is crazy because when you think of overshooting tops, it's like, oh, here we go, tornado potential now. But we're north of the warm front. But it does tell you how much energy is in place. And it does tell you that, hey, we got to watch these storms very closely. Look at this.
Yeah,
Maybe a little bit of a field
yeah.
starting to develop there, a little cumulus field in southeast Arkansas already. Look at the wind shear, too.
I know.
Yeah, I mean,
So
crazy.
you can see
wind
these
shear.
clouds are a little bit lower. These are like kind of lower cumulus clouds, and up at the very top, these like thin clouds. That's your anvils, and your cirrus clouds being thrown off towards the central part of the state. But you can see these clouds a little bit further south are going straight south to north, and then you turn counterclockwise with height, and you have the cirrus coming over. That just shows you a good amount of spin or wind shear, the change in wind direction with height, which is necessary for healthy updrafts.
Yep. Man, there's plenty of wind shear.
Yep.
That is for sure right now. You can literally see it visually already this morning. I mean, it's already in place. Just needs the excuse me, the instability and the better parameter spaces right now. The warm front is still south of that field. Echo tops around 45,000 feet on that line on a few of the storms. So yeah, they did the overshooting tops. We were just talking about that. If I go back to Mega Doppler here,
I can get me tolerance.
we can go here to Echo tops. Look at that, 45,000 feet on a lot of those. So they're pretty big time storms, but no tornado potential still. Not at all. They're just stout, healthy thunderstorms that are moving through the area. Let's see the lightning situation right now, but there's a ton of lightning. Yep. Ton of lightning. Gonna get loud in Fort Smith and in portions of Washington County pretty soon. But nothing too crazy. Oh, let me show what Peyton's showing right now. Peyton, what are we looking at here?
We are looking at surface obs. This is part of that now casting. See if I can zoom in here
Yeah, he's zooming in.
to Arkansas. So over us, Josh just showed you upper 40s, lower 50s in northwest Arkansas, River Valley. Temperature at 55, mid 50s. Upper 50s, lower 60s, even some upper 60s in far southeast Arkansas. And southerly winds, dew points in the 60s.
So the dew points lifted. The warm front's lifting north.
It is just probably right around here. If you can
It's-
see the cursor.
It's starting to lift back.
Yeah.
Because a few moments ago, or about an hour ago, it wasn't even in Arkansas anymore. It was like in southeast Louisiana.
Now it's in southern Arkansas and maybe up towards eastern Arkansas, running along the river.
And see how it's kind of draped along where the cloud cover is a little bit less potent? That's why the cloud cover, when it decreases, the warm front is able to lift north faster. When there's a bunch of cloud cover in place, it's like basically like a wall. It's literally like a wall. It just it stops it from moving. That's what cloud cover does to those warm fronts.
But
And
thankfully, we have a lot of cloud cover in our
Yeah.
area right now.
keep it around. It's kind of crazy when you say it like this, but keep the rain coming.
Yeah.
Keep it raining, keep it storming, because these storms aren't a big deal. They won't be a big deal. They will produce heavy rain, maybe some flooding potential too that we have to watch very closely. But in terms of the severe weather threat, if that warm front stays to the south, it's not going to be as
But we
potent.
will have to watch those once this complex of storms die.
Yep.
And move off to the north. We'll have to watch this on the backside of that. There's not as much cloud cover.
Yeah.
You'll see a little bit more of that filtered sunshine.
Which direction is the storms in Fort Smith moving off to the east northeast?
Yeah. Off to
And
the east northeast right now.
moving very fast too. I was like,
Oh
yeah,
Ah.
lot of issues with the radar, obviously, but it gives you an idea of what to do. I
The
don't wanna see
radar
that.
sneezed.
Yeah, I don't want to see that trash no more. I'm like the radar, the
Get that
technical
outta here.
the technical difficulties are just insane. Let's see here. Reed Timbers Arcantori.
Yeah.
That's funny. I think Reed's great. I like Reed.
No more accidents.
No more accidents.
Other
Well,
than that
still got that one in Bella Vista. But,
Yeah, but the car is getting unloaded. I think they moved the camera back.
so we're good to go there.
Yeah, they just moved the camera back.
Peyton, it's 8:41.
Time for breakfast. I didn't even eat anything, and maybe a cup of coffee.
I think it's time for that for both of us. Obviously, we still got some showers and storms moving through, but we've covered everything pretty extensively in this live stream.
Yeah.
I would say we answered a lot of questions. The severe weather outlook's already come out. We already broke that down. We've already broke down all the ingredients: the cap, the cape, the significant tornado parameters, the dew points, pretty much everything. The future track. Are you boys coming back on later? Yes.
Yeah.
Probably not me because I'll probably be out in the field by that point. But Peyton, how long are you going to be here for?
Yep.
Are you going out in the field too?
Only if there's damage.
Only if there's damage. So Peyton will be here. Zach will probably
Yeah.
be here. Dan will be here. They'll be covering the storms throughout the afternoon and evening hours. I'll be out in the field tracking these. I'll say tracking. I won't say chasing. Tracking.
Right.
You
Yep.
know, in Northwest Arkansas in the River Valley. We'll keep that there. But anyway, guys, again, heavy rain still expected to move through Northwest Arkansas. The River Valley will get loud. I don't anticipate these storms to get above severe limits right now. We'll watch the position of the warm front very closely. As that's happening, we'll post updates and stuff like that. If there's a big significant change to the forecast, we'll hop back on. We'll let you know about that change. But I don't anticipate that right now.
Right.
So again, stay weather aware, folks. Stay tuned to the latest updates. Make sure you download our Weather Authority app. Great resource to have. We'll give you up-to-the-minute updates. Make sure you got multiple ways to receive warnings. I really hope that weather radio issue gets fixed. I'm sure it will by the time we get to the afternoon, but just pray that gets fixed because we need that for people to get their warnings. Otherwise, stay safe, folks. Take it easy on the roadways. God bless you, and we'll see you back here very soon.